We're right in the middle of winter and going outside is less desirable than ever for you and most likely for your cat as well. With both of you stuck inside, one thing you don't want to be worried about is the litter box stinking up your place. What's the best solution? Switching to Pretty Litter. I grew up with cats, and let me tell you, that was my least favorite job, and I wish we would have had a Pretty Litter. Pretty Litter's non-clumping formula traps odor and moisture. It's ultra absorbent, it's lightweight, low dust, and 1 6-pound bag works wonders for up to a month.
Pretty Litter gives peace of mind. It changes color to indicate early signs of potential illnesses in your cat, like urinary tract infections, kidney issues, and more. Since Pretty Litter ships free right to your door, you'll never run out. Never have to worry about huge kitty litter bags taking up space. The best part is you won't have to go outside in the cold and lug those huge tubs from the store to your car and then to your house. Indoor cats and indoor humans agree. Pretty Litter helps your house smell clean and fresh. Go to prettylitter.com/VIALL to save 20% off your first order and get a free cat toy. That's prettylitter.com/VIALL to save 20% off your first order and get a free cat toy. prettylitter.com/VIALL. Terms and conditions apply. See site for details.
Listen, winter is here.
It is. It's cold.
It's cold outside. It's gloomy outside, and going to meet up with friends. Listen, it's not as appealing as it is in the summer when it's beautiful, when it's warm, when the wind is blowing.
Either is grocery shopping.
Neither is grocery shopping. Yeah. And lately, we've been enjoying cozy nights in with friends, and what goes good with great company?
Great wine. That's right.
Great wine, and even better glass of wine. And that's why we're members at First Leaf. With First Leaf, we're not only getting to enjoy personalized wine for us, but we have fantastic bottles on hand to share with friends and family. First Leaf is great at picking out wines based on our preferences. They're also our go-to for finding special occasion wines. If we ever need extra bottles, we can easily add more to our club orders.
I'm sure you're listening and thinking, well, how do we get started with First Leaf? Well, I got you covered. To get started with First Leaf, it's a breeze first and foremost. Just answer a few questions about the preferences you like drinking when it comes to your wine, and they will put together an amazing assortment of top-notch wines just for you, and it gets delivered right to your door. So you no longer have to lug those heavy bottles of wine from the grocery store, from your car to your house. No, it gets delivered right to your door. And one of the best parts of First Leaf, if you're not sold yet, is how they let you control your delivery schedule. So, if the party schedule ticks up a notch, more wine. If it's just you and your loved one, less wine. You can always change it. Super easy, super convenient.
And if you don't get a bottle that you absolutely love, it's not a problem because First Leaf has a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Bring a great bottle to your next gathering with First Leaf. Go to tryfirstleaf.com/VIALL to sign up, and you'll get your first 6 hand-picked bottles for just $44.95. 6 bottles.
Yeah.
Sorry, just need to emphasize that. 6 bottles for $44.95.
Even for someone who's not good at math, she knows that's a lot.
I do.
That's tryfirstleaf.com, spelled tryfirstleaf.com/VIALL. Tryfirstleaf.com/VIALL.
You're crazy.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Viall Files Reality Recap Edition. I'm your host, Nick.
Before we get into everything, I just want to say, obviously, we released our miscarriage episode last Wednesday, and I have been absolutely in awe of just the outpour of love and support I've received. It's a very scary thing to be vulnerable on the internet. And it was a very personal thing to share. But I feel like the DMs that I've read, it's been a lot of people sharing their stories with me. And, I think just really proving my point of we are not alone. And, to talk to people who've been through it is incredibly healing. Obviously still going through the motion and feeling all the things, but I do just want to acknowledge everyone who has reached out, and I love you guys.
Yeah, thank you. Our daughter's 1 year old.
We have a toddler.
Yay!
Yeah.
We have a full-on toddler.
Is it 1 year old? They've officially become
They're no
toddler.
longer baby. They're
What
toddler.
what about the kiddos who are just not there yet? Moving at their own pace. They still.
I don't think it matters what pace they're
just
at.
a
I think
1 year old
it's just
thing.
1 year old toddler.
You're no longer a baby.
Yeah.
What does toddler mean?
We no longer tell your age in months.
No,
No?
I don't know.
I don't know. That's just my guess.
Great question. Yeah.
Well, I think actually it's until 2.
She's 14
I think it's
months,
14 months, 18 months. And then it's when they're 2, if you go over 24 months, like you're crazy.
You're just kind of a jerk.
When did we stop with weeks?
I also
She's 74 weeks.
No, I don't. Weeks is like
it's crazy.
She's 52
Once
weeks.
she hits a month.
Did you know how many weeks are in a year? 52.
perfect.
Uh,
A lesson for this morning.
You're so smart.
Honestly, she handled that party. First of all, I threw that party together in a week. Okay.
Good for you.
Like
Beautiful.
I said I want to do a small party. I don't want to do anything crazy. I just like she's not gonna remember it, whatever. And then the closer it got to her birthday, I was like, maybe we should do a little something, feeling a little guilt. So
it was a lovely party. Natalie did an amazing job, and River is so lucky to have Natalie as a mother, truly, and she's great. And like I think I'm a great dad. I do. I'm a hands-on father. I'm involved as much as any dad out there. Well, not any. I'm up there. I'm a 1% dad in terms of the involvement, but like when it comes to this stuff, like really, Natalie really brings like I lack any type of party planning.
I feel that.
Mm-hmm.
Like
he power washed the backyard.
Hey.
on Natalie's
And that's what you're there for.
on Natalie's instructions, though.
Yeah.
It wasn't like
Mhm.
I wasn't like I should.
You know what I want to do today?
He's nothing if not
Actually,
for
he
use.
pushed it off until morning of. So
which ruffled her feathers for sure. But I will say, like I really appreciate Natalie's party planning skills. It brings joy to my life in ways I never thought I would appreciate.
Aw.
Which it would start with our wedding. Like
That's where we'd start, not at like your birthday book launch party or
sure
Okay,
that
what's
too.
that one
Yeah,
today,
no,
too?
yeah, that
Okay.
you're right. Sorry.
No, it's fine. That was a bit more expensive. All on my budget.
For you.
Exactly. Don't want it to go overlooked.
Definitely don't think. Anyway, but yeah, I just never, if I was in charge of planning our wedding, we would have had a backyard barbecue.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
With like no barbecue. People would have been like, "Where's the food?" Nick would be like, "Fuck."
No, I've been like,
I knew I was
All right,
forgetting
hold on.
something.
no, I'll be
Just
like,
finish it.
let me run to Gelson's. I'll cook.
I got this.
Like that's the intent of it. And Natalie is really good at creating moments for our family, like in memories.
Yeah.
Like, and that's something I never really thought I'd appreciate. Until Natalie started doing the stuff for our family. It's really great.
Aw.
So like she created some amazing memories for River.
I think it's just I really want to like have. I didn't really come from a family of like traditions.
Yeah.
I mean, I had. I think I've talked about like every so often on like Christmas morning, my mom would let us pick out whatever cereal we wanted, but I really can't remember any other stuff. And so it's like for River, I want, Nick and I went to Color Me Mine and painted her a little birthday plate that she can use every year on her birthday. We like put her little donut on it the morning of.
Which, for anyone out there, Natalie had a wonderful idea, and it really turned out.
Oh my God, we
Now I
hated
had-
each other during that painting session. I'll be honest.
Let me
The
explain
attitude
why.
swirling
No.
in Color Me Mine.
No.
I felt so bad because everyone else was on dates, and we were like, "Use the different pink, Nick. Come on."
Natalie had a vision.
Yeah.
All right, let's be clear. And it's a great vision. It was like we are going to like go to this place and make River her birthday plate, and then until she breaks it, eventually, of course, it will be her birthday plate. At some point, we're gonna have to glue that plate together, without question. I hope you're prepared for that. It's a lovely plate, but like Natalie's like, let's go paint this together. And I said, great, let's do this together. And we showed up. I came from work, she came from somewhere else. We showed up as two busy parents often do at the place to unite and create their daughter her first birthday plate. And some of you may not know this, but I have a small, I can't party plan. I can draw and I can paint, and I have a bit of an artistic thumb, as some might say. It didn't matter because I wasn't part of the vision. And
No, I needed you to draw the cake.
Natalie's like, can you draw a cake? And then and it was just like, what is that? I don't know. And then I started painting, and then she's like, I don't like that pink. And
No,
I don't
no,
like
no,
your
it's
And I was
because
like, you know what? I'm gonna shut the fuck up, and I'm just gonna sit here and watch you paint this plate. And it turned out, and it is amazing. But like, you can't paint a plate together.
Yeah.
You pick your own. Like, I just get 2 plates, and may the best man win.
The Hunger Game of
because
baby plates.
Yeah.
this is not this is not something to do together. Like,
Well, I think if
not if one person has a vision. No, it wasn't like, let's just see what happens. It was like, what the fuck are you doing?
I think if I explained what you did to start that ruined it, then maybe everyone else would agree.
It ruined your vision. Yeah, no, I understand.
We started with a cupcake, and the cupcake top was completely off center of it's a round plate. It was not in the center of the round plate. It was like up to the left a little bit. And my Virgo brain was like, absolutely the fuck not. That's not gonna work. So I said, you know what? Why don't we switch roles and do like move to a cake instead of this cupcake?
That was fine. Let's pull up.
Nick was like, no, you were not fine. You're like, you want me to erase this? I just drew a cupcake. And now you want me to erase the whole cupcake?
It was
I'm like,
yeah.
That they have huge erasers here for a reason.
That's 12 minutes gone. Drawing a cupcake. It had shadows and everything. It was
The shadows.
It was a good cupcake.
Shading.
Then I wanted, those paint pens that they have like actual paint they use with a paintbrush. Yeah. And then they have like gelled
this
pens.
Yeah.
Infuriated me.
He only wanted to use the gel pens.
No, that's not true.
He did not want to use the paint. And I'm like, we're here to paint a plate.
Nally wanted
not pen draw.
Nally wanted she wanted it to look like a cake, right? She wanted to draw a cake and not to mansplain painting because I just have painted. Nally wanted to draw the details of a candle with a feathered brush. I was like, go nuts, draw this candle and see if it looks like a candle when you're done.
And guess what it looked like?
Not a candle.
A candle. So that was really lovely for us to do that together. It's a memory we'll never forget. But it did turn out. I think we definitely threw in some details at the end that probably could have been left out. But it was what do we fill this safe space
we
in
gave
with?
it some color and some texture.
So then we did the birthday plate, and then I really was like, I want to wake her up with a donut. Like a candle in the donut on the birthday plate, go into her room, happy birthday, that be her first moment.
And for someone on a sugar, not a no sugar diet right now, this was difficult for me.
Everyone had to abide by Nick's no sugar. He was like, a donut on her birthday? Absolutely not. That's crazy. That's crazy. She can't have a donut.
Oh, she's never had sugar. So apparently, I don't know. I guess when you turn 1, you can have
anything you want.
Have a cake.
That's kind of where the restrictions end,
Yeah, I get
to my
it.
knowledge.
Well,
Nick loves the excuse of it's Christmas. Yeah. Come on, we're at the lake.
That's old Nick. That's old Nick.
Sorry.
Wait, so did you not have
I didn't have any of that cake or donuts.
a donut, a cake?
And everyone at the party was like, this is the best chocolate fucking cake I've ever had in my life. And I love chocolate cake. It looked so good.
I got chocolate for you.
Yeah, I didn't have any.
I definitely have a picture of you two going in to kiss River and look at it. And it's Natalie's looking right at River and Nick's looking right at the cake.
Right at the cake. This cake looks so good. It took every strength I had not to eat that cake.
Good for you.
Everyone really kept saying, this is the best cake ever. It was just digging the knife.
And you'll never know.
I'll never know.
Also, the cake pops.
But she handled it so well. She loved the attention.
She did. She didn't get overwhelmed.
No.
She was great.
I don't think
and
she
took her first steps. She started walking a few days ago. I feel like
January 26th.
River's a performer. She has, I think, a little bit of her mother in her in the best possible way.
Yeah.
Because I think River, honestly, I think she has been She started standing around 5-6 months, and I was like, this chick's gonna be fucking walking in a week. And no, turns out she was just kind of I think she could have been walking for a month, but she's like, you know what, my birthday's in a month, and I think there's no way to no reason to get ahead now.
She wanted a hard launch.
She wanted a hard launch. Well, she soft launched it with us.
Yeah.
A few days ago, took a few steps. And after her nap and the party started, she came out in her little fairy dress that Natalie picked out. She walked around the corner, being a little fairy angel princess baby that she is, and smiled at everyone. She really
little laugh.
She took it all in. She laughed. She performed. She spun.
Made friends.
She made friends. She laughed.
She did.
Told jokes.
That.
It was adorable.
It was a great party. Yeah, Natalie deserves all the credit. I was there to help.
A lot of people in my messages think that I paid a tablescape person to come and
Who's that? What's a tablescape person?
People who do design tables.
No, that's all Natalie and her mom
and your mom
and my mom. Yeah,
collective.
Yeah, but Natalie was the visionary for sure.
It was Trader Joe's.
We executed her plan
and some Amazon next day shipments.
One of my favorite moments was overhearing Nick tell somebody. He goes, "And this is Natalie being chill."
Yeah. And again, that was meant as a compliment. It really was it was a perfect little party.
It really was, yeah.
Natalie brought her child.
Leia brought her child because Natalie child is your child.
All over the place. Leia brought.
I was like, oh, Natalie brought her child. Yeah, that makes sense.
My brother brought his child. So there were only
3 kids.
There were only 3 kids, and then we had a couple friends. Whatever, it was lovely, but it wasn't some of those first grade birthday parties. It's just
first grade.
First.
Present.
Where are you?
Be present.
Some of those first year birthday parties, they're crazy.
Oh yeah.
They're crazy.
This lack of sugar in your brain is really.
I know. I don't have enough
No,
sugar.
it's sending him into
He's
a
crashing
spiral.
right now.
He's
Yeah.
crashing out.
No, don't worry. I have all my fruits and orange juices.
Mhm.
On deck. You might need some right now.
I hope all of you get to. Do you guys drink orange juice?
Yes,
You like orange juice?
I love.
You
Orange.
love orange juice. What kind of
Yeah.
orange juice do you
In my
drink?
champagne.
Okay, so my favorite orange juice used to be. It's national now, but it used to be like a local Florida orange juice, Natalie's.
Oh, that's where you're at in your orange juice
He's gonna shame you.
evolution.
He's gonna shame you.
That's okay. I don't mean to be.
You
I
need to-
love
you
I love
need
a
to bring it
classic
here.
Florida's natural. I'm not picky when it comes to orange juice, but I
Well,
also come
see,
from.
that's your
I
problem.
also come
You from
from.
Florida.
Yeah, there's an entire wall of orange juice. We would get fresh squeezed orange juice like
So you grew up on freshly squeezed.
sometimes.
And now you're drinking Natalie's.
Okay.
Okay.
As I feel like orange juice is my
Come on,
culture,
Matt.
so I think everything I have to say on this issue is correct.
Well, not if you're drinking Natalie's as your go-to orange juice.
It's not my go-to. They have a strawberry lemonade that's
Mm.
incredible. I love a sugary orange juice and I love a fresh squeeze. They're two different things to me. And my I come from the groves. Okay,
Groves.
I was
Triggered
going around the
Mary.
orange
Yeah, you
groves when I
have.
was a girl. When I was a
Triggered.
little young girl, I would
spiraling.
waddle around the groves. I know what orange juice is, and sometimes I like the sweetness and the sugar and the pulp.
Well, being a kid who grew up on the frozen cans, those the
Oh,
frozen
yeah.
blocks of
Mhm.
like I don't know what they were,
Like
like
Minute
soda
Maid,
cans.
yeah.
and it was like a frozen block of orange juice.
Must
Yeah.
add water.
Cafeteria.
I used to think those were good.
Oof.
And then I remember when Simply Orange Juice was like invented, and I was like, oh my god, it's simply just orange juice. This must be freshly squeezed. I thought that was good. Yeah, orange juice is like flying. It's like flying. You know, once you go to first class, you never really can go back. I don't know. Can't speak for Mary, but once you're
Sorry,
on the,
I like orange juice of the people.
it's what I enjoy
Nick
spending my money
likes
on.
$25 orange juices.
That's the best money I've ever
no.
spent. It's like $19. Yeah.
How much do you get?
And this is Nick being chill.
Yeah.
I hope it's freshly squeezed orange juice is. It should be the only orange juice available.
I will say
Law.
it is objectively better.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not good. it's not always
Listen,
readily available.
I don't think no, it's oh my god, no, it's not. Like
yeah.
I go on missions around LA to find freshly squeezed
You're
orange
also
juice.
getting navel oranges a lot of the times, and that's
And tell me why that's bad.
Well, I'm just saying the only like true orange juice is a Florida orange.
And where can I procure? Like I want to get into
It's
the
like doing a
juicing
key lime
business.
pie when just regular limes. Like that's not legit. That's just a lime pie.
At the lake house, they which they broke ground finally today.
Nice.
Remodeling the lake house. We have like a
Congrats.
live feed of it. Yeah, can't wait. I'm gonna be squeezing so much freshly squeezed orange juice at that lake house. Like every day is gonna just.
There will be a shortage of oranges
Yeah.
around the nation.
Are you gonna get like a professional juicer?
Juicer?
Like
Oh, yeah.
not like the ones where you like put like the ones where you like have the oranges in there, like Jamba Juice.
Oh, and they get chopped. and
Yeah,
then
it's like they
squeeze
like
it.
do the whole thing for you.
Oh.
I don't know. I haven't really done my full research.
It's a lot of oranges
He's
for
been
a glass of
researching
orange
a lot of
juice.
frame TVs recently.
Yeah.
There is the
In
best.
zero turn lawnmowers.
And
Wait,
zero
Oh.
turn
Yeah.
lawnmowers. He's very much in his.
Wait,
If you're ever in Vero Beach, Florida, there is this
Where's that?
it's where in Florida where
Give
I'm
me
from.
like a
Okay, so West Palm Beach,
yeah.
north, but coast.
What
It's
side?
like
of it?
central,
Okay.
East Coast.
Okay.
There's this place where you can get like an orange slushy. They have like fresh orange juice, countryside citrus.
Love that.
Countryside citrus. It's orange slush with soft serve. And it's the most
Mm.
incredible thing you will ever have in your life. Shout out Countryside Citrus, Vero
Soft
Beach,
serve.
Florida.
I just want
Yeah.
the.
You can just
I
get
want
the
the slush.
slushy.
I just want
You
the
can
slush.
it is
I want the freshly squeezed.
they
slush.
also have orange ice cream, so they like have all of their own like produce and stuff. So they have like homemade orange ice cream. They have their orange slushy, and it is the best thing in the world. So
It's the
and
the
it's
best,
next to Gloria Estefan's hotel.
Oh, it's the
So,
best use of your
period.
money.
I just have a
Okay.
feeling like
Mhm.
Natalie's just one day it's like, surprise, babe, we're going to Florida. She's like, why?
You can go
just
to
a
the
surprise.
you can go to the
Two
Trop,
oranges.
Tropicana Field.
Okay.
Yeah.
I used to live close to the Florida's Natural. Like I used to drive by it all the time when going to see my grandparents.
Mm.
The
Grandparents.
facility.
I can't get over you saying what side of the coast.
What's
It is Florida, famously a peninsula.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I always, for some reason, thought Miami was on the west side, but it's not.
No.
Speaking of West Side, Grammys 2025 was last night.
Anything cool happen?
Yes.
Kendrick Lamar winning multiple Grammys.
Song of the year, record of the year
I wonder
for
how Drake
hating
is
on Drake.
feeling.
Not great.
There's a whole point where when he wins his award, they're playing Not Like Us. And they're literally playing the Drake verse, and the entire audience goes,
a minor.
Like, you've got Tay Swift in the audience. You've got, like, legends
Wow.
in
You
the
got Blue
audience.
Ivy knowing every word.
Where was Drake?
Not invited to the Grammys.
Not invited to the fucking
You know what I
Grammys.
thought was
Is Drake
crazy?
getting canceled or something?
He is selling his $88 million house.
Yeah,
That's on sale now.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow, where is that?
In Beverly Hills.
Because he needs it.
he needs it.
I don't
What's
know.
crazy though about that house is that there's 10 bedrooms and 22 bathrooms.
That's what I like.
22
how it should be.
bathrooms.
Why?
He just needs multiple places to cry after he gets bodied by Kendrick at the Super Bowl.
I'm always a big fan of any place or space that has more bathrooms than bedrooms because it's just kind of like, this is the guest bathroom. This is my personal bathroom. And there's nothing more awkward than having to like walk through someone's bedroom to use their bathroom. And
There's
it's just like,
also-
I'm in your space.
There's also a main house and then like the separate house and then an 11-car garage
God,
Who needs
So-
11 cars?
and an elevator.
But what I did
I'll
think
take
was
that.
crazy about the Grammys is that Taylor presented Best Country Album
To Beyonce.
to
Beyonce for
Beyonce
Cowboy
and
Carter.
Kanye West. Flashback to however many years when Taylor Swift won Best Album of the Year, right? And Kanye
Mhm.
West was like,
At the
I just got to
VMAs.
interrupt for a second. You didn't deserve this. Beyonce did. Crazy. Like,
It was really like a bookend
Full
on
circle.
like that
Yeah.
full circle like chapter of just you have like Beyonce and Taylor both at the height of their careers. Beyonce finally winning album of the year, best country album, and like Taylor Swift just like incredibly supportive of her. And it's just they're dominating the music industry, and Kanye is getting fucking kicked off the red carpet with his naked wife.
So Kanye showed up with his naked wife, and he wasn't invited. He just said
He
he
wa-
showed up and said, "Let's."
He wasn't kicked out.
You're
of,
naked.
He
Let's go to
walked
the
the red-
Grammys.
Well, he walked the red carpet and then they left, basically.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
wasn't kicked out of the Grammys.
Oh, so fake news.
They were not kicked out. He was nominated and walked the red carpet, then chose to get in his car and leave.
Oh, so he showed up for the red carpet and did not stay for the party.
Yeah. He then posted and deleted images from the evening on his Instagram account, captioning one of the photos with "Love Story."
Okay.
love story. He's
Mm.
also only following Taylor Swift.
That's
not
fake.
right. That's fake.
Yeah.
No, I literally went to go look at his account.
Because when I looked at it yesterday and today, he's only following Bianca. So like I think
So he's switching up.
He's
Who
being a little
knows?
bitch.
Maybe
He-
Bianca
today
got
he's
mad.
only-
I don't know.
following
He's being fucking
Bianca.
weird. But Chambliss screenshotted it and sent it to me. I mean, isn't public indecency illegal?
I don't understand, but some people are saying because it's a private event and like the red carpet is shielded, but I'm like,
It was
the
full
woman
vagina.
is fully naked.
Yeah.
I saw her landing strip.
Yeah.
No.
Oh my God, I
yeah.
thought she was wearing a censored dress.
No, I saw her
No.
labia minora.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like 100% labia minora.
I'm not a
Was-
doctor.
Have
Was
we
waving at
heard
me.
her speak?
No,
once.
Oh, yeah.
I remember I researched it and there's like one small clip of her saying something.
I don't know.
Like, I just need to know if she's being held hostage. I need her mom or a sister, a cousin, a family friend, someone to be like, no, she's good.
I mean, does she run hot?
That is 100% Kanye West being like, let's make headlines, let's make waves, go naked.
And
she's
it
like,
worked.
okay,
You
yes,
know,
sir.
If
So-
she's down for it, I kind of see the vision.
What's
There
the
is
vision?
no
I mean, she
vision, like-
clearly. I'm assuming she's down for it.
I mean,
Otherwise, we're
the
talking
human
about
body is
kidnapping.
beautiful,
But
but
there is
why?
no vision. Like, there's just no way she would be like, yeah, fuck yeah, let me walk a red carpet in front of all of these strangers and cameras in the world, butt ass naked with the tiny, and she keeps like pulling down this dress of
Of
nothing.
See-through fabric. Like it's literally see-through. Like you can pull it down
Yeah.
all you want. It's not changing.
which like when
Well,
we
the more you pull it down,
So
the
she
more
is
you
wearing
can see through it.
something.
Yeah,
What?
So she is wearing something.
yeah.
but it's like a sheer dress, like
Like
a
a
string
clear
dress.
plastic
It's
bag.
basically pantyhose.
I think pantyhose covers more.
Yeah,
I feel like we can all attest to like when we're out wearing a dress or a mini skirt or something and we like constantly are pulling it down is because we're a little like, ooh, self-conscious that like butt cracks out or like self-conscious
gonna pop
something's
out.
gonna, yeah. And so the fact that she kept pulling down that non-existent dress told me that like she's uncomfortable.
She does always look uncomfortable. But I
Yeah.
will say, like, in his defense, like, we do go to museums and consider the naked body like high art. So, like, that's his whole thing where he's trying to be like a visionary of like art mixed with fashion, mixed with like she's his muse.
100%, but I feel like it would be completely different if the way that I watched them on the red carpet, it was like he wouldn't stand close to her. He didn't put his arm around her.
Agreed,
He
yeah.
stepped away. He looked at her. It was like a very like she's a spectacle. She is his like gets him on headlines and he
Mhm.
just steps back and makes her do these crazy things and wears these crazy outfits.
There's a theory online that I'm not saying is true, but I'm like, there's a theory that's saying that because she looks so much like Kim, that it's like his way of humiliating his ex-wife almost, like as if it's like, can't do it to her, but I'm gonna this woman that looks exactly like Kim, I'm gonna make her dress like this, XYZ. But
I mean, it's like these are his children's stepmother.
you know,
Like, your kids are seeing your stepmom's vagina on a red carpet with the rest of the world. Like, that's crazy.
I couldn't agree more.
Well, it's Kanye. So.
I wish she
It is
could speak.
Kanye.
I wish she'd speak too. I wish someone in her life would speak and be like, oh my God, no, she's always wanted to walk a red carpet naked. That's been a
Yeah.
lifelong dream of hers. It's in her diary when she was 5.
Well, do you know who's speaking in that family? Tristan Thompson.
Oh, and what does he have to say?
He is claiming, apparently, which I found to be odd, and maybe I'm getting the story wrong, but he is claiming that he is the father of Dr. Angela White's child.
No, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but they basically like raised that baby. Like,
Wow.
I know that Dream is with them, like with
Where's
True
Rob?
all the time. I don't know where Rob is. I don't have his location.
Well, this
It's not
context
shared.
this context adds a lot because when I like saw it, so Tristan posted a snapshot where he basically said, I have 2 daughters and their names are Dream is my oldest daughter and True is the second oldest. Those are my 2 girls and I miss you so much. I love you guys. Then
See?
China commented on a repost of the video saying, Dream has one mother, Angela White. I usually don't speak up, but I'm done. Stop all this clout chasing involving my daughter. As parents, we have joint custody and we also have a beautiful, healthy co-parenting relationship.
Why didn't she say she has one mother and one father, Robert Kardashian?
Well, she did say like beautiful co-parenting relationship, which I guess is alluding
He
to
just
Rob.
referred to not his daughter as his daughter. So, I mean, I get it. I grew up with people who were like my aunt and uncle, and I called them auntie whatever, but
Mhm.
like this is clearly a sensitive subject, and a guy who has his own problematic headlines and stories and his own behavior of like family values and yada 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 is out there just being like my 2 daughters. I don't know.
Yeah.
Could
No,
have
that
maybe
is
chose
weird.
a-
That's definitely weird for him to be like, I have 2 daughters.
And, like, being like,
their
my-
names
the
are Dream
oldest.
and True. And
It's like,
And
but
that-
you don't.
In Natalie's defense, though, she is always with like Chloe and Tristan.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
the
no.
but
other
even
daughter.
on like watching the Kardashians, Khloe's very open about how she takes a lot of care of Dream.
Mhm.
Sure.
But that definitely does not make Tristan her father.
And it doesn't make her mother. I mean, they're
Well, I don't think Khloe has ever said.
I
she
know,
was
sure,
wrong.
but like I'm imagining she's a lot more involved than him.
Well, I just wish that Angela Black China would have said Dream has one mother, Angela White, and one father, Robert Kardashian, and like thank you so much for these 2 people who like watch her, but like you're not her parents. You know,
Mhm.
I don't know.
Where is Rob?
We don't know.
He stays off of. He has a private life. He
Yeah,
stays off
I'm
of
not really
the-
interested in like Rob, like the public figure, and like I don't really care about his Instagram. But like, where is Rob in relations to like why is Tristan Thompson of all people like assuming any type of parental responsibility in this family dynamic?
Probably because he has not played one game of basketball in so long that he's
Yeah.
like, I guess I'm just like dad of.
No, it's just more
Everybody.
like a where's
Yeah.
Rob? Where's Rob in all this?
I think
Mhm.
he's a recluse because that was like part of his storyline too, is that he never like wanted to be like a part of like the family events and show up to things. And I see a headline that says Rob Kardashian's family worried he's cut off from the world. He even wears disguises when out, and that was from last year, December 19th.
Well,
So I was
Mm.
like, maybe he's
Definitely a weird post by Tristan.
yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely weird.
Maybe Tristan is soft launching his trade to the Lakers, like Luca.
There was a big trade, babe. Everyone's
Yeah.
talking about it, I guess. Luca, formerly of the Dallas Mavericks.
Yep.
he's looking at me.
He's very good. He's one of the best players in the NBA. Usually trades like
Well,
this
thank
don't
God.
happen.
Because I went to a Lakers game and I've never been more bored in my life. So
Yeah, maybe that they heard you loud and clear, Natalie, and then we need a star because like when LeBron doesn't play, who the fuck do we root for?
Baby Braun?
100%.
Not from me.
He doesn't
now
even play.
Luca.
Now Luca.
Also, Anthony Davis, I feel like is always out injured for getting like poked in
Yeah.
the eye.
Leia's reading tweets from her husband Danny.
No,
I did see
said
it.
that one. That one was mine.
I
Okay.
did see a tweet about it that was like, I named my dog Luca. What am I supposed to call him now? Anthony Davis? And that made me laugh. Mhm.
Okay.
No, but I feel like Danny was definitely freaking out more than when I told him I was pregnant. So,
How'd that make you feel?
nah, I understand.
Is he a big Lakers fan?
He's a big Lakers fan, and he just doesn't understand how this is possible.
Is he
He's
happy?
like, Leia, you don't understand. There's never been a trade like this before.
There hasn't.
So he's happy. He's thrilled.
I think he's shocked. He's still coming to terms with it, but
I mean,
he's
is
happy.
he good? Why wouldn't he be
Yeah,
happy?
well, the
like
thing
if he's
is-
a good player, why wouldn't he be like,
It's just
oh my
insane
God.
that it happened. Like, why Dallas would do that does not
They-
make any sense.
yeah,
He's their star
It doesn't make
player.
any sense.
He's one of the best players in the league, and he's
Yeah.
young.
Don't we
Yeah.
think the Lakers just bought him out?
No, in
No.
fact, when it comes to not to bog the audience down with like contract stuff, but in the NBA, they have guaranteed contracts, which is cool. But if you sign with the team that you play for, you are eligible for what they call a supermax deal, and it's like $340 million or whatever.
Damn.
Yeah.
But because Luka was traded and he's not with the original team that drafted him, I believe that has something to do with it. He is no longer even eligible to sign that deal. So, like, by him getting traded,
He lost money.
like $100 million.
He got fucked over, and everyone's like, "How did this happen?"
Yeah.
Yeah. So Stephen A.
Because-
Smith is
Because
in
other
tears.
teams would sometimes players get traded, but they would sign the deal with the original team to like work around this like rule and then get traded. But they just said, fuck that. We're just trading you. We don't care that's going to cost you $100 million.
Do you feel like they're just gonna like start putting the Lakers games on Netflix with Temptation Island?
Ooh, that
Nice
that
save.
might get people to actually
Yeah.
watch men's basketball again.
I think this is big news for
mean-
us, really. For those of you who don't know, Temptation Island is a TV show that's been on TV for some time now. It
On the
debuted.
USA Network.
It debuted when I was in college on Fox.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah, I watched season 1. Yeah, it was good.
Did Temptation Island start around the same time as The Bachelor?
Around that time,
I feel like
think,
there used to be like a night where it was like
It might-
Bachelor and Temptation
It might even
Island.
have been before Bachelor.
Really?
It was my sophomore year of college. This was like 2000. I think it was before The Bachelor.
I was 2.
This is not F Boy Island. This is something
No.
different.
So correct. So is this basically?
Nick was a sophomore in college watching Temptation Island, and I was 2.
Fresh out the womb.
I just started walking. How do you feel?
Uncomfortable.
Temptation Island came out in 2001. Bachelor premiered 2002.
Happy
so.
birthday.
Oh my god.
So it came up before. Anyways, Temptation Island's been on longer than The Bachelor. I don't think I think it wasn't on very long. It left the air, came back on like the USA network or whatever. Same host, known as Mark Wahlberg, not the A-list actor, but a different Mark
A
Wahlberg.
different Mark Wahlberg.
Was the host in 2001 and continues to be to this day. And for those, Temptation Island, like you get couples that come on, a la like The Ultimatum, and then they couple swap, and it's like nasty and crazy.
It's trying to
but-
get them to cheat on each other, basically.
Yeah, and people who I know who watch it like really think it's excellent television. Well, because it's on USA, which I think a lot of people are like, did that even still exist? Now it's going to be on Netflix. Much easier for us to binge. So I'm excited. When's this debut? March?
March 12th.
Mm-hmm.
I predict it's going to be a hit. It's going to be. I
Mhm.
think we're all going to be talking about it come March.
Do you think people are going to like it more than Will Ferrell smoking a cigarette as Buddy the Elf?
Why
do
are people
not
so
like
upset
that?
about this?
Yeah.
Some people are not happy, according to Will Ferrell. They thought, please be true to the character. That was not cool. And Will said, I think Buddy was having a bad day. Yeah, he just went to a hockey game, smoked cigarettes, and drank beer.
Yeah, Will Ferrell famously a couple weeks ago like dressed up as Buddy the Elf and went to an LA Kings game, and he was like smoking a cigarette, and he looked like he just had a
Can you smoke a cigarette at a?
Well,
It
if
was
you're
not a
Will-
real cigarette. It
Oh.
was a peppermint cigarette. So
Oh,
he was like
it's
really
unlike-
committed.
Yeah.
Just doing a bit.
He was doing a bit. He thought
He's
it'd be
method
fun.
acting.
Yeah, he was,
Yeah.
and that's the type of method acting that I think is okay. Yeah, why is this a problem? People change, even your beloved characters.
Yeah.
Maybe like Buddy the Elf, just like finally,
Buddy-
the grind of being in LA hit him.
Yeah. It's like, how much work does this man have to do around Christmas time? He cannot have one cigarette.
He said, occasionally I just like to do weird things and just like to stir it up.
Yeah.
Will Ferrell is just,
My favorite.
he's a man of the people.
My favorite Will Ferrell line is in this movie, Eurovision, which is an
a great
awful
movie.
It's a really good movie.
It's awful. It's the best. No, it's bad in like an incredible
sure,
way.
but
Bad or
yes.
is it good?
Well, it's
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 a dumb
so bad
comedy.
it's
it's not
good.
winning an Oscar,
Yeah, it's a dumb Netflix comedy. It's great. And he
but based off of a very real thing.
Yes. And he has this line. He goes, Seaman and Garfunkel instead of Simon and Garfunkel. And it always makes me laugh. Anyway.
This does make me think of how Lizzie McGuire, when they did the reboot, Hillary Duff was like, I want her to grow up. And they were like, no, we want her to be like as tacky and like as if she never grew up. And she's like, I'm not doing this. And then they canceled the reboot
Yeah.
after like starting to shoot it.
the episodes exist.
That's one of my least favorite things that TV shows do is like when they do a flashback to when the character is a child and they're wearing the same hairstyle. And it's just like, you've been wearing the same hairstyle for 25 years.
Yeah.
Put them in a bad wig. Put them in a bad wig. Do what Challengers did. Give her bangs to signify it's the past. I love a goatee flashback. They do that in Friends a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Bad facial hair choices,
Yes.
like things that we all experimented in from
Be a little
teenage
camp
years
with
to an
it.
adult.
Yeah.
Did you know that, Nick, you would probably like relate to this woman, but this UK woman was charged with harassment after cyber farting at her ex-boyfriend.
This is the best headline.
This is the end of the world.
This is awesome.
Such a dumb headline
This
and
is
crime.
No, it's not
Awesome.
dumb. It's real though. Someone
A 25-year-old UK woman just made history with Britain's first ever cyber farting case. It all started with a video message to her boyfriend's ex-girlfriend. The relentless cyber farting, that's the craziest words, began before Christmas and continued through New Year's. The inappropriate and indecent or grossly offensive videos eventually earning Evans a 12-month term for malicious communications. She proceeds to pass gas by placing the camera at her she deserves prison. 100%. She deserves to go to prison.
Or this is the best bit in the world.
No, that is the craziest thing to do to someone, and you deserve to be behind bars. You're recording yourself
But what is it?
farting and
But-
sending it to your boyfriend's ex-girlfriend. He better break up with you immediately.
But what is it? You can't smell it.
Doesn't matter.
It's
No
Slippery
one needs.
slope. I think it's crazy. I mean, listen, it's a crazy story anecdotally, but like it's even crazier that they're arresting people
Yeah.
for things
Farting
that-
into a camera.
She proceeds to pass gas by placing the camera on her bottom and passing the gas, said prosecutor Diane Williams. Miss Evans passing wind. How many different ways can we say farting? Passing wind, passing gas. Her face smiling at the camera. Criminal. She's a criminal. The victim, Deborah Pyre.
Victim is in quotes.
Yeah. When
Deborah
all the
something.
rapists and
Said the
murderers and pedophiles are all in jail, then you can start worrying about people like this.
Said the booty belches made her feel unsafe in her own home when she appeared in court pleading
The
guilty.
booty belches?
Booty belches.
When she appeared in court pleading guilty, she said her actions were done in support of her boyfriend. She suggested she wanted to send videos because she felt her partner was being treated unfairly. It was purely malicious. She was smirking throughout. She found it hilarious, but the victim didn't. Evans must attend 15 rehabilitation sessions, 60 days of alcohol
Rehabilitate what?
abstinence monitoring, and a 2-year restraining order following the cheek squeaking stunt.
The cheek squeaking stud. This is journalism.
Booty belch. The big takeaway is that I going forward will never fart. I will only booty belch.
Guys, this is my favorite thing we've ever talked about.
Grown up.
Cheek squeaking. Cheek squeaking is crazy.
I did the research on this and I was like, of course, people in US Magazine left this
Whatever.
off. But
I think England's going up in flames. But anyways,
I'm also just like, block
What
her.
happened to cut the cheese?
Ooh, cut the cheese. That's a good one.
what happened to free speech?
That's not freedom of speech because that's
Freedom of wind.
It's a booty belch.
Hey, if we can't, who are we if we cannot let one rip?
Thank you.
Our butts are allowed to speak.
Yeah. Is that not covered?
I feel like-
it's
I
England.
feel like-
It's England. They have different rules.
I feel like after this story, she's gonna get a lot of messages being like, "I'll pay for your farts."
Oh
Yeah.
my God, this is just
She should do cameos.
She's gonna make a living.
this is
off
a
it.
gateway into her OnlyFans career.
Booty
For
belching
sure.
some
101.
There's some freaks that would be
I
really
got
into
some
that.
DMs asking for my burps on video. So,
Wow.
I'm just saying,
Your regular belching?
my belching on command.
You can put
They
River
wanted-
through college.
Did you
With that.
did you share
Videos
that you
with
have
that.
this special skill?
No, I've never actually shared that before. So when I got that DM, I was a little nervous for sure. I didn't know if there was cameras.
How
in
much money?
Places. He did not say.
Open to negotiation.
He said it would come from his own personal checking account, though.
Oh.
So.
Mm.
Okay.
That's-
Thank you for not laundering money.
That's a little weird. Guys, we have an amazing episode lined up for you. We have an even crazier week. Coming up shortly, we got Bob Harper from Traitors, just exiled from the castle. He is with us momentarily to talk about all things Traitors. Then we have a full week for you guys. Obviously, we dropped Ask Nick, a really great episode yesterday. We have a rally recap today. Tomorrow we have an explosive interview. Tomorrow we got Carl Radke on an amazing episode of Going Deeper. We finally got Carl into the studio. Obviously, we had the pleasure of interviewing his ex, Lindsay Hubbard, a while back, and I think at one point I said that Carl was too chicken to come on the show. Well, he is not, and he is here with us to answer all of our burning questions and many of yours as well. That is on Wednesday. And Carl's kind of been like, other than obviously being on Summer House, kind of low key. You know, he hasn't really talked to anyone until now. Okay, what do we got to get to?
Well, Gretchen Rossi is back. Orange County Housewives.
This is kind of epic.
Tell us about
Kinda
Gretchen
cool.
Rossi. I'm not
I don't know. Who
as
she
familiar
is.
with her.
Yeah.
Gretchen had a long run on Orange
Can
County,
you bring up a photo?
famously feuded with Tamra and I believe
Mhm.
Vicky as well. But she's coming back to Orange County this year, and it's kind of a big deal. I'm really excited to see.
Is she coming back as a housewife or friend of?
I believe she's fully casted as a
Okay.
housewife.
So she's not taking Alexis Bellino's place.
And-
She's
no.
Okay.
Jen posted a video with her, Katie, and Gretchen. So it seems like this is going to be like the newbies. And Gretchen famously has issues with Tamra. So I think this is going to be a very interesting season. And Shannon also posted about Gretchen coming back, saying that she was really excited to have her.
So
So
we
I'm-
haven't heard from Heather or Tamra about Miss Gretchen.
No, we have not.
She's going to return as a friend.
So
She's returning as a
Yeah,
friend.
but we
Okay.
all
So
know-
she's replacing.
So she is
Alexis.
replacing Alexis.
Well, but we all know that once you film, there is a possibility that you can get like
Okay.
bumped up to full time.
And the people have been asking for this.
Which
So
is-
Tamara's gonna get bodied, basically. Is what's gonna happen.
I mean, I don't know. I just know it's not gonna be quiet season. That's for sure. Gretchen kind of has made it her own little space as like a homemaker.
Have they started filming yet?
No.
No.
And like her husband has drama with Tamra. Like it's like there's like a whole thing. So you guys, it's gonna be a really, really, really good season.
I will say I'm
Yeah.
excited for Summer House, especially after like the whole page and like the rumors of her dating. I don't know if you saw, but Austin Kroll went on Watch What Happens Live from Southern Charm.
Mm-hmm.
And he was asked about the rumors and quotes of Paige dating another man. And he was like, I don't think the rumors are rumors.
And didn't Paige respond with, "Oh yes, a man
Tell me
who
more
I
about me."
haven't talked to in
In
6
6
months
months.
knows
Yeah.
more about what I'm doing."
Yeah. And then meanwhile, she's freezing her eggs. So it's like there's these multi-layered conversation of like Craig wanted kids. She's freezing her eggs. It's the whole messy situation.
I mean, it seems very clear that they just were not on the same
yeah.
wavelength.
Yeah.
Like he was ready, she's career motivated right now,
He-
and like it just
He's got that backyard of like unnecessary fire pits, which I love, by the way. But that's like giving like, you know, Googling lawnmowers, you know?
yeah,
Paige,
zero turn
lawnmowers.
on.
Paige is like, I don't think she's there right now.
She's been looking for flights,
Yeah.
vacations.
He's like,
He's
freeze
like,
this shit. I don't know when I'm gonna have time for it. He's like, babe, we got fire in the backyard. You know?
they're just not on the
Also,
same
I
page.
mean, yeah, that if I were Paige, Austin Kroll speaking out on Watch What Happens Live would also piss me the fuck off. It's
Yeah.
like, Austin,
Who the fuck are you?
you're also like we're watching you fight with Craig right, now
Right.
because
Mhm.
you can't get him time with him. So
you
it's
guys
like,
can't do your podcast.
I'm not gonna
Paige is like, I did you a favor, okay? Now you have them all to yourself.
literally.
He won Craig in the breakup.
He did.
Literally.
Jennifer Aiden also isn't returning for New Jersey Housewives.
Are we surprised?
So that's a
Is
cap
New
on-
Jersey Housewives even returning? Like,
Probably not for a while,
I feel
but
like
Jennifer Aiden just got a job at Jersey Mike's. Unrelated.
I'll care when we know exactly what's happening with New Jersey Housewives. Until then, like, I feel like this is a bunch of like not news.
yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, Andy said a minute ago that it won't be for like another year or longer. So
So, do we really know if Jennifer Aiden won't? I mean, a lot can happen between now and when they actually get back on TV.
Yeah.
that's true.
Depends on not if she follows Mike's way.
Honestly, the whole series needs to be recasted anyways, so sorry.
I saw that when we had Spencer and Heidi here, Andy did apologize to Heidi and Spencer. So
Andy Cohen apologizes for his past comments about Spencer Pratt and Heidi Montag. During his radio show, Andy stated, I apologized. So what I will also say is that was mean. That was 14 years ago, and what I really don't like about it is referring to her as trash. I don't like that at all, and I'm really sorry about that, so I apologize again, I guess.
okay.
I guess.
Wait, why is he saying I guess?
I don't know, that's how
I think he's saying because he said I already apologized
Oh.
a while ago, apparently.
But Spencer, as everyone knows, was just here
Mhm.
the other day. We had an episode with him and Heidi, and he was on the phone with TMZ responding to this. And he basically said that the apology won't suffice until Andy decides to reach out privately. He also proposed that Andy post a video dancing to Montag's number one song, I'll Do It.
Yeah.
And to finish what Andy had said, he said, by the way, there were things that we said and did on TV 14 years ago that we wouldn't do now. It was just a different universe, but I'm not trying to justify it. So he's saying it was more of a like TV now is different than back then when The Hills was airing.
And honestly, like as much as it's not an excuse, it very much is just different. Even us watching Vanderpump Recap for Viall Files Plus, that it's like things that flew by in reality TV 10 years ago would never stand today, let alone the commentary.
Can't wait 12 years from now, someone else whose house is burned down that we talk some shit about 12 years before.
Like,
That we'll be like, yeah, sorry.
I apologize.
Everything's cooled down between Rachel and Matt.
I saw that Matt lost over 10,000 followers and Rachel gained over like 80,000 followers. So I know there's that whole social media support.
Some other Bachelor Nation people have come out and talked about it. So we have Claire Crawley, who came out and talked about the breakup. She basically said in an Instagram story, she said, catching up on social news and SMH, shake my head, at some of this stuff. Remembering that one time I specifically asked producers to please not allow one specific guy on my season because I knew for a fact he was not looking for a serious relationship whatsoever. And I didn't want him to waste anyone's time. So instead, they made him the next Bachelor.
So it's Claire Crawley saying that Matt and Rachel breaking up is proof that she was right, that he...
Well, he
I don't know if she's saying
clearly
it's proof. I think she's...
Wait, am I missing something? Was Matt James supposed to be on Claire's season?
he was.
Yes. Matt James was originally casted for Claire Crawley's season. And then Claire, who knows if what that part is right, but like they decided to make Matt James the Bachelor. Claire is now claiming that she had something to do with him not ending up on her season. I don't know what this has anything to do with, like, I mean, he did date Rachel for 4 years. I don't know if this speaks to like Matt's sincerity about being in a relationship. Like he became the Bachelor and has been dating the same person for the past 4 years. So in 2025 terms, that's like an eternity. You can't criticize his commitment issues. Who else is criticizing Matt?
We also have Ari.
Ari?
Posted. Yeah, Ari.
What is Ari saying?
So he posted, and it was an Ask Me Anything. And one of the questions was, need to know your thoughts on Matt and Rachel. And so he's like walking and he's sharing it. And he basically
doing a walk and talk?
Walk and talk. He basically says that he doesn't feel like that he ever treated her with much respect. And he brings up the after the final rose when Matt broke things off and he just felt like it wasn't fair. So he just basically is saying that he doesn't feel like Matt ever treated Rachel with much respect.
It's a heavy statement.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, where would he be in a position to...
Like he doesn't think he's ever treated her
Ever?
with much respect? Over 4 years, ever?
It was a very short.
This is coming from a guy who like had a pretty infamous after the final rose himself.
Literally.
Just...
The most hated man in America after that. Like
This
at
is
least for
really-
like a moment.
He pulled a Jason Mesnick.
And again, like in defense to Ari, a lot of that was not Ari's fault. It was very much the producers producing the fuck out of the AFR, a la like you would think that Ari might have a little bit more empathy for Matt James and his AFR experience. Certainly, Rachel, as we've stated before, I think was absolutely thrown under the bus and scapegoated for a lot of people. But Matt James is on the bottom of the people I assign blame to. And I think him and Rachel were both thrown under the bus. It's just weird that Ari, of all people, is commenting on that particular moment when he has his own story. But hey, pop off, Ari. All right, up next, we got the one and only Bob Harper himself to talk about his most recent exit from the Traitors Castle and all the shenanigans going on inside of that wacky and wild place. Let's get to Bob.
It is time to give your home a little TLC. Are you ready to declutter and reorganize so everything in your home has a set place? Wayfair has everything you need to start the process off right with brand new looks for your kitchen, living room, bedroom, and more, all within your budget. Wayfair is the place to shop for all things home. Everything from sofas to spatulas, you name it, they have it. We have Wayfair here at the Viall Files. This studio is brought to you by Wayfair.
Which looks like a living room, but also does like some office stuff. So it's a little home. Their huge selection of home items make it easy to find exactly what you need. It's also great for gifts, no matter what your loved ones are looking for. Wayfair has you covered. Wayfair makes it easy with fast and easy delivery. Even on the big stuff, they'll even help you set things up if you need. Find all living essentials, storage solutions, decor, and more, all in one place at Wayfair. Give your home the refresh it needs with Wayfair. Head to wayfair.com right now. That's Wayfair, WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair. Every style, every home. we're getting settled into 2025, and maybe your New Year's resolution was to start building your credit and you're still not sure where to start. That means we have to introduce you to Kickoff. Let's get things back on track for 2025 and start building your credit today with Kickoff, the #1 credit building app in the App Store. Their plan starts at just $5 a month, and there is no credit check, nor hidden fees, and no interest. If your credit is under 600, you could jump up like 28 points in the first month. Kickoff is a smart, legit credit hack with no catch, no credit check, no hidden fees, and no interest. It's simple. You can make on-time payments. Credit bureaus see good behavior and your credit grows fast.
Start building credit immediately for only $1 your first month. With AutoPay, you never have to worry about missing a payment, so you can build credit in your sleep. Sign up in minutes from your phone. No credit check, and you can cancel anytime. Kickoff is a safe and trusted credit solution. Kickoff is the #1 credit building app out there. It has over 100,000 positive reviews on the App Store, and 98% are 5 stars. Shake off the credit hangover and look forward to brighter credit with Kickoff. Get your first month for just $1 at getkickoff.com/VIALL today. That's 80% off Kickoff without the C. Get KIKOFF.com/VIALL.
Must sign up via getkickoff.com/VIALL to activate offer. Offer applies to new customers first month only, subject to approval. Offer subject to change. Terms and conditions may apply. Point stat based on Equifax. Advantage score 3.0 changes for Kickoff using starting under 600. Who made their first on-time payment between January 2021 and March 2024? Payment and credit activity outside Kickoff can have an impact on your credit. Individual results may vary.
Wow, Bob.
Bob!
Hey, y'all.
You
Hey,
look
man.
Stunning.
Thanks for joining us. Where are you calling from? That looks great.
My apartment.
Oh,
Look at his outfit.
Stunning.
man.
Oh. I mean, I'm always going to serve it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Look at his jug of water. He's hydrated.
I know.
What a
I try to hide that.
wow, spacious room, man. Anyways, I didn't know we would get such a. I now I want to turn this conversation to like how to design your entire apartment in the best possible way.
Come on over.
Bob, it's been so fun to watch you on Traitors. Obviously, I think I speak for all of us that we were sad to see you go. I don't know how you feel, but like when people get killed by traitors like overnight, it just feels like you just feel like, well, like, oh.
You're like, wait.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah.
What's happening? I need to defend myself.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. You're like, you're just dead, you know? At least at a round
just
table,
dead.
you're
I'm
just
just
like,
gone.
you know, you get to like give a fuck you and flip people off like Wes was doing. But were you shocked, Bob, that you were murdered? Did it come with great surprise, or were you kind of like, what the fuck? Like, what were those thoughts going in your head when you woke up and you realized that the traitors killed you?
I had that moment where I was thinking, wait, why did I say what I said at the round table, kind of like throwing that out on the table with no warning with everyone else? Because let me tell you, if I would not have gotten murdered that night, Rob would be gone the next one. So I guess he was smart to do it. But Dolores, I would have gotten Dolores and Ciara to not be voting for, like, when Dolores voted for Tom, I was like, this is not good. I mean, Tom is not a traitor. He's just crazy.
It's just crazy.
He's just weird.
No, but
Yeah.
you also got Boston Rob's plan word for word, like exactly what he did. Was that like infuriating watching this episode and knowing that like he's still there?
Yeah, I mean, the way that he had to come in because he wasn't picked to come into the house in episode 1. So he really had to like throw his dick around. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
He had to be like, I've got to show these people that I am the best player of any other game. And it just made such perfect sense. The way that he came so hard, being like, I'm 100% confident. I'm like, well, you're 100% confident because you're a fucking traitor.
Duh.
I'm curious, you know, when we're watching it back, obviously we're watching back, you know, an edited version. We don't get to see anything. And, you know, I'm watching it now and like wondering how, you know, as great of a player as Boston Rob is, like, how is he not being noticed? Because he's just, if for no other reason that he's just like so noticeable, like he is definitely walking around with a bright light on him. But was it as, you know, is that more editing, you know, now that we, you know, they have it, or were people just not seeing it in real time as well?
You know, a lot goes on when you're shooting, and they got to condense it down to an hour. But I feel like when it comes to Rob, he has a way of bullying people. He has a way of kind of being the man that's in charge. And then all of a sudden, these minions kind of got behind him and were just like, yes, I'll do whatever you say. You're the one. And like, that was the one thing about Dylan, who I absolutely love. I love Misguided, and but he was really. I feel like he was really using Rob to do the dirty work too. So I mean, because there's no way you didn't know that he was a traitor or was not a traitor.
Yeah, I feel like Dylan knows Rob is a traitor and just decided not to vote for Rob just to like avoid any conflict with Rob, and he's going to figure out the Rob of it all later. Yeah, it just seemed like Dylan's heart wasn't in that West vote, but it seemed more strategic, and he was like almost thinking 2 steps ahead.
God, if I would have been at that round table that night, though, I mean, Rob would have been sent home because I would have just been like, listen, Wes is a dick. He's saying all the things and he's, just doing that thing that Wes loves to do. But I would have gotten them around the fact that this is such a diversion and a distraction, and it's all coming from Rob. Mm-hmm. And I mean, he would have gone, but I was just like, Wes, shut up. At that round table, I was like, shut up with all of your just like, macho male shit.
He did say a lot of just like unnecessary weird comments of
I'm
like
coming for you ladies. Like, holy shit, man, it's fucking a game.
He was like, I'm coming for the 5 of you. And when Brittany was like, well, let's make it 6, I thought that was a great line. It became people voting out of just them not liking him. And meanwhile,
vibes.
Rob was sitting there just like, look what I did again. I mean, it
is crazy just because I feel like every round table, Rob is so sure of the other like it's always him and someone else. And he's so sure of the other person and gets the other person voted out only for them to obviously still be a faithful. And it's like at some point, all these people got to be like, all right, wait a second. Like, Rob, what's going on? But who are you closest with in the house?
Dolores and Sierra. I mean, those were my girls. I mean, from the jump, I didn't even know Sierra. I didn't know her from her show. It was just she had a quality about her that I was just super drawn to, and the same. I knew Dolores outside the house, but we really got close to one another. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. Dolores is that kind of friend that you call to help bury the body at night.
Yep.
Because she will be there for you.
What was the craziest Tom theory that you remember?
Oh God. I think Dolores had a great comment at the round table last night. Just like, she was basically like, girl, say whatever you want because none of it's going to make sense anyway. I mean, he had it in for Chrishell because of the history that they had. And it was just constantly him just going on about Chrishell. But I will say, I enjoyed Sandoval. There was that one part of the episode last week where he's hunched over and he's like eating his dinner like he's Nosferatu or something.
Yes.
I'm like, baby, take a breath with that.
Sit down.
His theories made no sense. They were all over the place at all times.
My favorite part of the episode was when the round table starts with Tom giving a theory, and then Derek is like, all right, well, I'm sorry we all had to listen to that bullshit, but can I actually get to like my theories? It was...
Yeah. That happened a lot. When he started talking, it just got to be this kind of like eye roll around the round table of just like, oh, here she goes. Let's let her talk now for, a few minutes. But then you just got to interrupt Sandoval. It's just like, you just have to.
That's great. Thanks for sharing that story. Also, nothing like the couple episodes. I just want to acknowledge that, like, that scene you had when they were carrying the fucking mantles up, and like, that was a very vulnerable moment for you. And like, you talked about having a heart attack, and obviously, you look great, but like as we get older and we have health problems, like it's obviously very humanizing. I'm sure to at one point in your life be able to do one thing as you described, like you would have been the person like helping people carry up, and then when your body kind of gives out on you, that can be a very humbling experience. And like I think a lot of people connected with that story that you shared. And I'm just wondering, like, what was, did you receive any like well wishes from that, or I don't know, what was that like, or did you hate having to be vulnerable in that moment?
It was one of those moments where you can't help, or at least for me, it's like I couldn't help but be vulnerable. I mean, I'm an open book, and so when that mission was going on, and it was kicking my ass. And I'm seeing Dylan, like a stallion running up and back, and Robin too. So many people just like killing it. And I was just like, holy crap. Like, I'm turning 60 this year. And after my heart attack, I changed completely the way that I work out. And all I've done for the past several years is just yoga. But like, one thing that the Traitors has done for me personally is that I'm more confident now getting back into the gym, doing workouts kind of that I used to do, but just like trusting my heart and my body again. So, not to make this a very special episode, but like that's kind of what it was like for me. And I feel great. But sometimes I get these people that are like, he looks so different. I'm like, yeah, bitch, you saw me on television, a million years ago. I mean, I'm not as young as I used to be. So, it's like I need everyone to just kind of calm down on me.
Well, you look great. I think my favorite photos going around online are the old Boston Rob photos from Survivor. Because everyone's like, "Do you remember Boston Rob?" And I'm like, "No." And
he was the Heart Rob.
I remember watching him, and I love Boston Rob, and I mean, I still do. I think that he's great, and he sent me a really nice message right before the episode, and he was just like, you were just on to me, and I had to do it, and I was like, yeah, I get it.
Do you think? I know. I mean, we don't want to obviously spoil anything, and I don't even know what you know once you leave. But I just, I think
he knows everything.
You know everything. Oh, you know everything.
Oh my god.
Huge.
Well, what I want to ask you is like I just don't see how Rob gets out of this, because every time he gets into a fight with someone, right? And then he convinces the table like, oh, you're all wrong. This other person's the traitor. And then they get up and go, not a traitor. Like every time that happens, you're like, well, wait, it's got to be fucking Rob. But like, is he?
I will say never underestimate Boston Rob. And I also will say, and I've even made a point of saying this too, I was like, God, I really thought I was going to be good at this game. I've got an intuition. I feel like I can figure it out. And of course, when I watch the show, because I'm a fan of this show, that's why I did it. It's like, when you're at home, you have all the information. So everything is obvious in the way that it's edited. I am not kidding you. When you're in that house, it is so difficult. You are grasping at straws. You are trying to figure out, like, Carolyn's eating cereal with a fork. What does that mean?
She was.
I asked Nick, I said, was she eating Honey Nut Cheerios with a fork?
Mm-hmm.
That was crazy.
She was eating with a fork. She was eating cereal with a fork. And so, of course, because, if you've seen Carolyn, like, she is fit. She's tall. She's tall. She was just in my house the other night. She is tall and, got that great body. And I'm like, well, of course you eat cereal with a fork, because it lowers the calories in what you're eating.
Yeah, less dairy for sure. Yeah. Love Chrishell, friend of show. Her vibes seem to be way off. Every time she talks about having a feeling or an inkling or energy about someone, it's always someone who's definitely not a traitor.
I think that goes to your point, though, of you just being like, we're grasping at straws. You are just like looking at someone's shift in energy and being like, it's gotta be because they're a traitor.
Yeah, I mean, it becomes like that. And I mean, I love Chrishell. Like, she is, not only is she's gorgeous on the outside and the inside. I mean, she is so great. We spent a lot of time like driving together, and she was always kind of having that very California, and I'm from California, that California tree hugger moment of just like, your energy just feels a little different, and looking at the stars or whatever the case may be. And I'm like, yeah, I'm a little bit more pragmatic than that.
What city are you calling from, Bob?
I live in Manhattan.
Oh, God, damn. What a beautiful place you out there. Let's have us over for tea.
Come on over next time y'all are in town.
Any more questions for Bob?
What do you think about the whole Danielle, Carolyn
of it
all?
Yes, thank you.
Their beef.
The traitors fighting amongst the traitors.
I will say now that I'm not on it and I am a viewer, I am riveted by it. It's like, I cannot wait for Thursday night, because I need to see what goes on in that turret. And Carolyn is the kind of person, once you cross her, there's no going back.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I think Danielle's going to have to do a lot of heavy lifting, but I think it's going to fall upon deaf ears. It's like Carolyn is, she's a piece of work, that one. And you think that she is, she's not aware of what's going on. What I have learned, she's aware of everything. Oh, I can't wait. I cannot wait to watch.
It's incredible television.
It's been great. I'm just like Danielle. I just don't really get her master plan. It's like it's too many steps. It's just like she's trying to get rid of Carolyn so that she can get rid of Rob. It's all about getting rid of Rob, according to her. But it's just like, why are you backstabbing your only potential ally so that you can get a different traitor in and then trying to convince them to go after Rob? That's a lot of moving pieces.
Yeah,
and she's not really doing anything other than pissing off Carolyn.
Yeah, and I think that maybe, and I don't know this, but maybe she's just trying to throw so much heat everywhere else that it gets off of her. Because especially when we played that one mission with all the riddles, I mean, she was so good at it, and she just kept going up and giving her shield to someone else. And I'm sitting there going, girl, what are you doing right now? And that was the first time I started thinking, oh, something might be up with Danielle. But I trusted her so much. I could not believe that she was a traitor.
Yeah, I am kind of shocked more people after that mission weren't looking at Danielle.
Correct. I know, but there was just so much heat everywhere else in the house. And then all of a sudden, Wes decided to do his Wes thing. I think Wes dropped the ball with that. He was just being way too aggressive for no reason. He could have just calmed down a little bit and just, that's how Rob could have gotten out. But
Wes comes from the challenge.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big challenge fan, but it's just a lot of physical competitions and stuff like that.
Yeah. I
didn't know Wes. I didn't know him at all. When I first saw him in the cage, I thought that he was like Fergus's brother or something. They look so much alike.
And it sounds like he did a lot of winning on the challenge, and it's been around for a
He said he was
while.
the most winningest person at the table.
What does that have to do with?
He likes to tell us that, and I'm like this. I guess.
Yeah.
You are
Yeah, but what does that
correct.
have to do with Traitors and how it's a completely different game and their strategy and just pissing off half the room?
Challenge kind of is a bit strategy where because people are voted out. So it's you have to kind of make alliances and have people on your team and hope that they're voting the same way that you are. Survivor's more of a quiet game. Challenge is you've got an hour to go and talk to everybody and do things. So it's he's still playing in the challenge where I'm he should have taken a tip from the survivors and been let's lay low a little bit. But he's doing I'm in your face, I'm aggressive, I will win, and if you go with me then you will win too kind of thing. And it's it didn't work for this game.
I will say, I don't know if anyone's told you this, but the round table is such an intense part of the castle, but the way that the intensity elevated, I remember the first time we were sitting in the round table, it was all quiet. And then all of a sudden they piped in that Hunger Games song, the Are You coming for the tree or whatever that song is. It was one of those moments, the first time we heard that at the round table, I was like, what the fuck have I gotten myself into? I mean, it was it only created more drama, and that happened all the time. And we thought we'd get used to it, and it was just so nerve-wracking.
Wow.
That's crazy that they pump that music in to add to the intensity, because usually that's fascinating.
They are producing. That's awesome.
They are producing.
That is tea, Bob. Wow. Thank you for that.
Are you wearing cowboy boots?
I am, yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
We call, I'm from Tennessee. I mean, we kind of call those shit kickers, right?
Oh, yeah. shit
What part-
kickers.
Oh, because are they not pointy? Oh, yeah.
They're square-toed.
You look like a badass in those.
Oh. What part of Tennessee, Bob?
I grew up on a farm an hour north of Nashville called Adams, Tennessee.
Okay.
It was little bitty town. I grew up on a gravel road that didn't have a name on it.
Love.
I love that.
And look at you now.
Beautiful.
Yeah, literally.
In his Manhattan penthouse.
Yeah, that's literally a dream Manhattan house.
100%.
Living our dream, Bob. Thank you so much for your time. Really enjoyed watching you this season. Wishing you nothing but success in the future. And thank you so much for taking the time.
Thanks for having me. It was really nice talking to y'all.
Likewise. Bye-bye, Bob.
Bye.
The day I replaced my underwear drawer with Skims was the day I chose to never worry about uncomfortable underwear ever again. This is your reminder. If you haven't cleaned out your underwear drawer, you got to do it.
Yuck.
That underwear has been sitting in there for a long time, and you know it has. Mine was. Thank God I just revamped it all with Skims. Skims has fully changed my life with their incredible supportive stretchy fabric, keeping me secure and supported all day long. The best part, I practically forget I'm wearing underwear because it's that comfortable. Some of my favorites are the Fits Everybody Dipped Front Thong, the Fits Everybody Full Brief, the Fits Everybody Boy Short, which I will say I wore after giving birth when I was like done with the diapers. I went to the boy short. Oh my God, it's so comfortable.
And for the men out there, their underwear is fantastic. And like Natalie said, don't let your longest relationship be with your underwear.
And if you need a go-to shirt that you can wear for any occasion, the Fits Everybody t-shirt is that girl. Let me tell you, it goes great with any occasion. You can shop Skims' best intimates, including the Fits Everybody collection and more at skims.com and at Skims stores.
Yeah, say what you want. Those Kardashians, no quality. After you place your order, be sure to let them know that we sent you. Select podcast in the survey and be sure to select our show in the drop-down menu that follows. And if you are looking for the perfect gift for your Valentine or yourself, Skims just launched their best Valentine's shop ever, available in sizes for women, men, kids, and pets.
Do you ever think about the amount of money you've spent on skincare and beauty products over the years to battle issues like acne, damaged hair, dry skin, change in hair color, etc., and wonder why they aren't as effective as promised? Clean water is the first step to an effective beauty routine, and it's a step that people completely overlook. That's why you should try Jolie. Jolie is a beauty wellness company that purifies the water we shower in for better skin, hair, and overall well-being. Jolie's filtered shower head is best in class for removing chlorine and heavy metals. Listen, this is the it girl shower head. It's the only lab tested and clinically trialed filtering shower head on the market, clinically proven to reduce hair shedding in 81% of people, lab tested to reduce hair frizziness by 40%, lab tested to maintain color retention, lab tested to protect the hair surface level. Jolie shower heads have a beautiful sleek design, the perfect combination of form and function. They fit all showers and still give you the strong water pressure, which I know a lot of people are worried about that, but don't worry because Jolie keeps that strong water pressure. Jolie will give you your best skin and hair guaranteed. Head to jolieskinco.com/VIALL to try it out for yourself with free shipping. And if you don't like it, you can return your Jolie for a full refund within 60 days. No questions asked.
Look how wafty and flowy my hair is, thanks to our Jolie shower head. All right, well, thank you, Bob, for that insight into the Traitors Castle. My biggest takeaway is, damn, Bob's living large.
Architectural Digest.
Mhm.
Is that
His apartment looked like it was.
Truly.
It was stunning. That's
Yeah.
a Manhattan apartment.
penthouse.
You ever seen the movie Big?
Yes.
Many times, yes.
You have.
She kissed a young boy.
No, that was not my biggest takeaway from that movie. My takeaway was when he bought that apartment in the city and he could ride through his New York apartment.
Who's a
Bob's got some space.
Yeah.
Bob's
Anyway.
riding bikes.
Yeah.
Anyways, crushing life.
Before we get to Bachelor, I have some Summer House
Oh,
news.
what's going on?
Well, Amanda Batula thinks that Craig Conover is being a little ridiculous about the Paige DeSorbo breakup. So
How so?
her and Kyle did an interview with Us Weekly, and they're talking about Summer House and whatnot. And she says that Craig's latest moves after the breakups have left her unimpressed. She says, I think it's a little ridiculous. I think Craig likes the sympathy from everyone. And ultimately, I think that what he should have done was clear up the cheating rumors in some regards because she's really getting a lot of hate for that.
What is Craig doing?
All that Craig did, from what I know, is posting that story saying, I was unexpectedly broken up with, and people find that to be shady. I feel like
Isn't he not allowed to be yeah, I was a bit caught off guard. I was in love one day, and the next day I have a broken heart.
Yeah, or my best friend, I can no longer call and reach out to talk about day-to-day issues, and it's a weird adjustment.
It's just guy breaks up with girl on an airplane, and the whole world needs every fucking detail, and so we can crucify the man. But girl breaks up with guy, and he needs to shut the fuck up, is not to have any theories
point.
and rumors spread about why.
That's a good point.
Well, that's the thing. She did go on her podcast. She gave her side of the story
she's
as to
got
why
a
she broke up.
Huge hit platform, weekly podcast, where I'm sure every week she is making some kind of comment in reference to her relationship status,
Right.
and what's going on in her life, which indirectly involves Craig.
100%. And I think even then from the story, he never said anything cruel. And he did say that to be respectful of Paige, that they're both going through this separately and just to be kind. So it's he did state that. He didn't say oh, I don't know. I know for a fact she didn't cheat on me. But at the same time, that's none of our business. They don't have to speak on it if they don't want to.
Nothing
also-
about Craig's comments suggested anything other than
Infidelity.
she broke my heart.
100%.
Also think it's Paige saying Austin, doesn't need to comment on the relationship, it's also like, okay, Amanda, like when was the last time you and Craig had a conversation? You know, I feel like it kind of just goes both ways of the people on the outside. Obviously, this is a huge story. This is like anyone who talks about it, it's getting pickup. So I feel like friends of these people are.
In defense of Paige about that, though, like nothing irritates me more than people telling me about me and what I'm doing in my life.
100%.
Like,
but don't you feel like Craig could feel the same way about Amanda, being like, Amanda, you don't know like what I'm going through.
Sure.
And so for you to say that like you were unimpressed with how I'm handling this and you think I love all this sympathy, it's like, come on, we haven't talked in I don't know how long, you know? You don't think he could say the same?
Well, sure. I mean, I'm not agreeing with everything Amanda said. I'm just pointing out that Amanda is just like critiquing Craig's actions, versus Austin is spreading rumors. Austin's going out there on Watch What Happens Live and been like, those rumors aren't rumors. She's like moved on.
Yeah, 100%. What Austin did is way worse than, but
Yeah.
I just think it is like people commenting to comment when like neither of these people were in this relationship.
Yes.
I don't know do we know the last time Amanda saw Craig, talked to Craig, like knows what's going on?
You also don't have to throw shade at the ex. Like you can support your friend without having to throw the shade the other way. Because I'm like, Craig's not doing anything to you. Craig's not going out saying that Paige did XYZ. Paige isn't going around saying Craig did XYZ. So I'm like, why are we commenting on either?
And like the accusation that Craig is like milking the sympathy, it's like, give me a fucking break. Again, the person on the receiving end of the breakup, A, is entitled to have a broken heart, and B, like, Craig ain't the first person to be like milking sympathy in the reality TV space. So like what Craig has done in this department is a fraction of what other people have done to milk their sympathy when it comes to their broken heart. So like,
I just got 2 words for you. Father God.
Father God.
Start of Matt James breakup post.
Yes. All right. Well, Bachelor episode 2 is out.
I'm actually enjoying this season of Bachelor, which
Me
is a rare statement for me to say.
I just want to say you cannot make me hate Zoe.
Oh, I don't
Interesting.
know about that because I disagree.
Not my cup of tea.
Not my, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm here
I
all
feel
day
like
long.
the girl who's always like, I'm not here to make friends is like, come on, babe.
Playbook.
I'll say this much about Zoe. Is someone who last week I thought might be someone who wins. She ain't winning.
She's definitely not winning.
Yeah, no.
I
I respect the hustle.
One caveat to this is that like it's only week 2. And week 2, they'll take it from wherever they get it. And that is the drama. So like early on, like, I don't know, Zoe is just like, maybe she's like, I'm just like, I don't know. To be clear, you guys can have your opinions, but like she is 100% right. Like she is doing nothing wrong.
No, I don't think the like taking him on the group date is wrong. I think that's definitely the opportunity to get, you have like during group dates, that's the only way you get alone time with him is if you like pull him. Like I 100% like she was do what you want in that whole scenario. I think the like then taking him from stealing him from Juliana.
Oh, and
Juliana, and then stealing him again from Allie Joe to like finish your thoughts. It was like, okay, girl, like we're doing too much.
What if I
now.
told you that everyone that early on is interrupting everyone? Like everyone gets interrupted. So like when someone's talking to someone, nothing happens without a little bit of coordination from the friends who want you to buy a boat, the producers. So no one, like in no time is the Bachelor or Bachelorette just sitting there waiting for people to come. That's never happening. They are never alone. So they are given access to like the people. So like they are always interrupting someone every time. You are sometimes shown those interruptions. And the why some people get mad and some people don't is because they carefully make sure that certain people interrupt certain people because they know it will trigger certain people. And then with Zoe hanging around, wanting to finish that conversation, it is more likely that before she went back, to sit with the rest of the gals, they were like, well, it seemed like you like didn't get to finish your conversation. Would you like more time with him? Like, we'll just wait here for a few minutes.
No, but I just hate that argument because I feel like Zoe could have been like, honestly, like, feel like I'm good. I'll see him tomorrow.
But she wasn't good. She got 3 minutes with the guy and she wanted 3 minutes and 30 seconds.
I don't know. From what the women said, they were like that they've all been very respectful about giving
Fuck
time.
respect.
How much time do they actually get?
I don't know. It depends.
Like how long is one of those dates?
It might be 3 minutes. It might be 20 minutes.
But like the date in general, like when they win after like a challenge, like how long are you at a different location for?
Like the dinner party after a group date.
Yeah, like
that's all night.
Is that all night? So like maybe like
Hours.
5-6 hours?
Yeah.
So like, Okay, so then there's a way
yeah,
for
yeah.
6 or 8 girls to be respectful of the time that they're giving.
Fuck respect. I am not here to get you time with someone that, like, especially early on, if you're making a human connection. And keep in mind, the premise of the show is they're all like, yeah, after like 8 weeks, you can get engaged. It's like, yeah, sure, no problem. And I'm supposed to, what, like, do this with a fucking stranger? Like, the idea, like, anyone there who is there to be polite for the rest of the girlies is not there for Grant. Zoe is the only one so far making it very clear why she's there, and she's there for Grant. And everyone else there is there to make friends. They're there for the followers. They're there to like be there for the clout.
I don't know.
She said
I'm
she's a
disagreeing with
competitive
that
person.
fully. I think it's the people who are just like more people pleasers and less of like, yeah, competitive, a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more I'll step on your toes. Like,
Can't get to know someone by sharing them.
Sharing them with like 25 people.
Sure, but I think there is a way to be like,
But like no one, that's what I'm saying. If you're gonna go, if you show up to a group date and your plan is to sit there and wait for your chance, you won't get a chance. They will end the night. You know, you have to try to go talk to your person. You have to go out of your way to make time. However you do that, you can figure it out. You can be like Zoe and like a little more aggressive, or you can be a little bit more like, hey, like I'd love to. Can I go talk to Grant? Can I like I'd love some time, or maybe I wrote something nice for him. I want to do something. But if you're just gonna sit there and wait for the Grant to
who
pull
was
you,
sitting there?
the Allie Joe was just like, I've been sitting here all night and I haven't had a chance to talk to him. I'm like, well, that's your problem.
But then she tried to talk to him and was interrupted. And then this is the part that got me, is when she tried to confront Zoe after, she was quiet. I was
Silent.
like,
Didn't
girl,
speak.
Yeah.
you were saying that with your chest a second ago, interrupting me, and now you're sitting there being quiet.
Little
No, she had
sniffle.
nothing to say.
Well, Allie Joe did come at her hard with
Yeah, a
like, you're
little.
that insecure, like you have nothing to say, you're that insecure.
I loved her.
Or you need that much attention.
I love her no response. And like all Zoe was here to say is like, listen, you can't offend me by interrupting me. I'm gonna do me, you do you. I'm not gonna critique how you do it. Don't critique mine. And then Allie Joe started throwing like insults and started talking about how insecure she was and all this bullshit. And Zoe's response was like, you know, sticks and stones. Like, I'm just gonna sit here quietly and be the like demure queen that I am.
Demure.
And I'm not gonna fight
Wow.
back.
Demure. Nothing about that girl's demure.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, whatever.
She's confident. I give her that. But I could never.
Fine, but like I thought it was great. I
What did
thought-
you think of Christina straddling him in front of all the other girls?
That
and
was a little-
tonguing him down. for
Carolina.
20 minutes?
Carolina.
I'm pretty
Carolina,
sure they'd
sorry.
loop that a little bit. I would love to know from Grant. Well, like was she making out with you that long? I kind of feel like they looped it a little bit, but
I mean, it was the most
One
intense
point-
make out I've probably ever seen on TV.
The best is like them being like, yeah, like when we kissed, it was like, or like her saying, when we kissed, it was like nobody else was around. And it was like, it didn't look like
clearly.
you looked around.
Yeah, we could tell.
Clearly.
You walked
Yeah.
up through a crowd and then said, "Meh, meh, 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 meh."
but the women seem more triggered by Zoe than
Well, different
Well,
group
it's
of women.
clearly different women. Yeah.
Yeah.
whatever.
Well, Carolina seemed more receptive to what the girls had to say at the dinner party versus Zoe was like, I don't care what you have to say. I'm doing what I'm doing.
And also the energy shift is so different where I was like, I feel like for the first group with Zoe, it was more like just like anger, feeling like disrespected, where the second group, like the energy just dropped
Mhm.
after
Yeah.
that. Their like after party was just like, okay. Like,
And I love
guess
how
we'll
Grant
talk to
walks in and
Grant.
he's like, why is everyone upset?
Well,
Everyone seems low vibes.
Because you were
What's
having
going on
sex
here?
in front of us.
Yeah,
because we're day 3 and we all
we
feel
saw
like we
your
lost.
dick hard
Yeah.
grinding on Carolina. Like,
Well, she was grinding on him. Let's be
To be fair.
That's fine.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
She said I couldn't go anywhere. She was straddling me,
Right,
so I
right,
just
right.
had to do, you know.
But Carolina her action seemed way more antagonistic than Zoe's. Again, Zoe's just more like, hey, you asked how long are they there? These women are there for hours. And Zoe was the only one who said, I'm gonna pull you. Can I,
I don't
grab
need
you?
a slam dunk competition.
Yeah,
Whatever.
that part
Talk to
I
him.
definitely respect. Her being like, fuck this fucking slam dunk. Let's go
Like
talk on the
none of
roof.
us are gonna make these dunks anyway.
Well, they
yeah.
would lower the hoop, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, she took the initiative. She didn't commit any crime. She didn't make out with someone in front of her. She didn't rub it in.
What did you think of the one-on-one date with Alex?
I can't believe they went to the Bev Center.
Oh, I
And
know.
when
That
I
was-
saw that, I was like, "Are you kidding
That was low
me?
budget.
Are you
Yeah.
kidding
That's the
me?"
worst mall in LA.
Yeah.
I loved it. It's one of my dreams.
I mean, the type of, you've heard me talk just a few
But,
weeks
like,
ago.
take her to
being
Century
locked,
City.
locked in a grocery store
It's
all night
outside.
long. So it was giving like locked in a place where you have free reign in a place
Yeah.
you're not supposed to have free reign. That's giving fun.
That's fine.
I was more impressed with her this date than I was with her night one.
Okay, same.
Mm-hmm.
Same. She opened up.
Yeah.
I thought she was so cute.
They were
What
seeing-
she was really, she is goofy. Love that for her. but she was all goofy night one. And like, I felt like she was a little more like normal and down to earth and like chill. Love the tats. I loved her outfit.
Grant serenading her, coming up with a song on the spot on the
I
That was
just
piano.
looked up right now.
I
You
think
hated it?
president of the Grant Ellis Music Club for
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah.
Mary was in the club when that was
Shut
playing.
up.
It's a good song.
They're bullying
We've
me.
listened to it. I like it. He can beatbox. He is very musically talented. We're getting close to
we can
like.
reel it in.
I don't care if you're John Mayer or Grant Ellis. You can't just like sing in public whenever the fuck and not make it weird.
Yeah.
He did it a lot this episode. It was like he beatboxed over the intercom at the mall.
Mhm.
Then on the piano with Alex. He did it obviously with Mario.
I'm gonna need a week off.
we need
And
a little
again,
bit of a
this
break.
is no denying his musical talent, and I truly hope that his song goes number one.
Yeah. You just don't want him to be like guy who brings out a guitar at a party.
Yes, it's
Number
we're-
2.
and we're getting close to
Yeah.
anyone need to be boxed. And I don't think that's Grant's fault. I think those producers love a party trick.
Who are your top runners? Top runners?
Front runners?
Front runners. Thank you.
Well, you were half right about Allie Joe. She's not really the villain, but she's certainly part of the drama.
Well, we'll see.
Mhm.
Listen, Latia, she's definitely top 2.
She won already.
You
Yeah.
think? I think she either.
I-
I think he's torn. He's so torn between Latia and Juliana.
Yeah, I think we already know his final two.
Juliana.
That's
Yeah.
the one-on-one, right? No.
No.
No, Alex is one-on-one.
Oh, I think
Juliana's the hand massage.
Mhm.
The
Mhm.
he was rubbing them hands.
Listen,
Yeah.
he was like, you know what, baby,
I'll
let me
take
take
care
care
of
of
She
you.
was
You.
giggling too.
She's fantasy sweet.
100%.
She's
Yeah.
going home
I think
week
she
3.
might be a
No,
front
I
runner.
think
No.
I think her and Latia are at the end. I mean,
Not
obviously,
Alex.
I don't think Alex is at the end. I think she's like maybe 3 or 4, but like I think his final 2 are Juliana and Latia. Could be
Chloe
wrong.
also might be.
Everyone has your own
I like
opinions.
Chloe. I mean,
Those are my
that
2.
little basketball
so
kiss.
you take your 2.
Since we teased Grant a little bit for his music singing, I do want to acknowledge that I thought he handled that conversation with Latia with like no notes, like A+.
Yeah.
Because it's a tough conversation. Like, credit to Latia for like expressing herself and like, I mean, Grant, the night one, for those of you who don't remember, like he was just like, you're so beautiful. Like you must never hear no. He's just giving a line. He's trying to sweet talk her. He's not trying to understand her like childhood trauma that triggered her. She mentioned like she's heard no, she's had tough breakups, she's had heartbreak. She used that as a conversation, as a launching pad to start opening up to Grant about her personal story. And he did not get defensive. He listened. He responded. He didn't make it about him. Like
he
there has
crushed
been
that.
several other bachelors in recent years that have like epically failed those types of conversations. And I think we need to give Grant some credit because he was as perfect as a response to a situation.
I remember him owning up to it, and he was like, "I just said that because like I instantly saw that you were like pretty." And like I knew that you were going to be a temptation, is what I took from it.
Yeah, but it's not what I
Mhm.
meant, and I'm sorry for
Yeah.
saying it that way. And like, let's move on. It was who was the bachelor who got COVID?
It was Zach.
Zach. Who was he lecturing? Forgot. Like he started yelling.
Oh yeah.
Zach talking about how serious this is for him. That's what I'm saying. Like, and I think a lot of bachelors in this situation would take Latia like saying something that like Grant is just like, well, if you think I'm not here for the right reasons,
Mhm.
because it's just like very easy to get defensive when someone comes to you and says, hey, you said something that kind of bothered me and hurt my feelings. And he didn't express any discomfort
Mhm.
or like any defensiveness. It was, I don't think we highlight that shit like that enough. I thought he handled it fucking perfect. It was truly top notch.
It was Zach was lecturing Greer because Greer was
Greer.
comparing meeting like a sales quota.
Exactly. So like there's this girl that's trying to connect with this stranger. And he's like, it's not like fucking work.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So his first kiss, Alicia went home.
Which
Does
I
that
was,
mean you're a
Vicky
bad
went
kisser?
home.
I was
Surprising.
genuinely surprised by that.
Yeah, they seem to
kind of
really
was
hit it
too.
off.
Right? From like night one.
Mm.
Was that not his first impression?
That's what you call good editing.
No, Alex was the first impression.
I wasn't surprised by Rebecca going home after that conversation where he was like, you know what, I'm going to pull Rebecca to find out why the energy in here is weird. And then she was like robotically speaking to him.
She was,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah.
I noticed that, and I was just like, maybe that's her cadence. But it could have been editing
It was tough
too.
to follow. It was like,
It felt like she was trying to get like kind of deep, and he was like, "I just wanted to like vibe check. Like, is everyone good in here? Like, what's going on?"
In her defense,
Did I fuck up or?
she was probably also like, I don't want to be the one saying this, but you're making me say this, so I'm speaking robotically as I'm talking.
The age-old like, hey, is everything good in the house? And being the person to like give the tea is the one to go home because they're starting drama.
Yeah, it's a tough
Now that
situation to
I'm
be put
thinking
in.
about it, yeah, she's like, how do I answer this without slut shaming Carolina and like making you feel like you're an idiot? And she's like, is that like?
Yeah, I'm like I'm here for you. And also, I think that he was like, you know what? There's only room for one musical talent in this relationship.
Yeah, it can't be both of us.
Well, credit to Latia too, who was just like, I can't sing, I can't dance, and I don't know how to public speak. And I honestly thought she had the best performance because she wasn't trying to perform.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Where then, what was her name?
Rebecca.
Rebecca. She's like, I can sing. And you could tell when she was singing, she was very nervous.
Yeah.
Because like you could tell like she was like, this is my moment to be good. This is my moment to shine. I really need to deliver. And she like psyched herself out. Where like Latia was just like, the fuck?
She was
She's
just
like,
there.
"I'm gonna talk through this."
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like she was just there having fun versus
I'm gonna sit in your lap. I'm
Rebecca
gonna
was
look
like
at you
trying
with
to
my
perform.
piercing eyes, and then that'll be it.
Is this correct? Did I see Lisa Vanderpump in the preview for next
Yes,
week?
they go to Vanderpump Dogs, it looks like.
A little cross promotion with Hulu and Vanderpump Villa. Yeah, it's
There you
Rob
go.
Mills working overtime. Yeah,
And it says Hannah Burner.
sucks for us though.
Hannah Burner?
Yeah, Hannah Burner was also in the preview.
Let's go.
Good for Hannah.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah, Mario, Hannah Burner, Lisa Vanderpump, they've really like upped their
Guest.
They
their
lowered their
guest
budget for the dates, and they
Yeah.
upped their budget for the guests.
They said
I don't know
go
if they
to
upped
the
their
Bebs.
budget.
just
I
kidding.
mean,
Just kidding.
No, I'm not. No disrespect.
No, it's definitely better celebrities than who have been there in the past.
Well, last
for
season was a
sure.
Wicked sponsorship, the whole season. So
Mm.
Yeah.
some,
A lot of the times when they have their like one-on-one dates, I do have to Google who's singing in the
Mhm.
background.
and no
But you knew
disrespect
Mario.
to is it Allie Brewer?
Ashley Brewer.
Ashley Brewer. Seems like she's really great at her job, but I feel like those are moments to like bring in an alumni, which they've done before. But hey,
I was surprised by Ella going home after she gave him that note.
why?
Wasn't
it
Wasn't a good note.
I don't know. She like had a thing.
on an island alone.
I'll tell you what,
Right.
week 2, I had a lot of girls give me some weird shit. And just like, I had one girl like do a sketch comedy thing in front of me. And I just like sat there and watch. And like someone like reenacted a cheer. It's a lot of weird shit that they're like just grasping at straws. You don't know any of these people. You're just like, great.
Nick told me he purposefully was a bad kisser to someone, that he just like stuck his tongue in and didn't do anything.
straight
no.
in.
Yeah.
Not the dead fish in the mouth.
And one time, one of the producers was like, hey, I got a favor. I'm like, what? And they're like, they were trying to create something.
Uh-huh.
That's I'll just leave it at that.
You said I'll play it, but only my way.
No, they're just like, we can you just for this one person? I wasn't really interested in this person. I didn't care. But like, can you be a bad kisser?
Oh.
I said, sure, no problem.
All right then.
And I just remembered what get bad kissing meant to me, which is like a dead fish.
Yeah.
You know, so I just opened up my mouth and just and then she we got done kissing and she looked at me and she gave me that.
What the fuck was that?
And I was like, all right, well, I'll see you later.
What's dirtier, you doing that or them putting all the tall girls on one basketball team and all the short girls on another basketball
was
team?
funny.
That was crazy.
That
Although
was
when we played
brilliant.
basketball on Andy Dorfman's season, they did that to us and we fucking crushed them.
Okay.
Were you
I mean,
short?
Well, you're
You're
scrappy.
not short.
I'm not
What
short,
team were
but
you
they
on?
like Bachelor Nation is very tall, 6'2". My height is average for that world, and they had like all the 6'2" and 6'5" guys, and I was the tallest person on my team, and we had a bunch of like shorter guys, but we had the one actual basketball player. So
He won.
he won,
Yeah, and you guys were
Okay.
there to support.
and I kind of played unofficial coach, and I said, guys, they're not going to be calling fouls. Foul early, foul hard, and foul often.
Yeah.
And
make
Allie
them-
Joe heard you.
yeah.
Joe did.
And so we just
Yeah.
beat the shit out of the other team and let Brian make a bunch of buckets
Nice.
and we crushed them.
Who was
Yeah.
it that kept traveling this episode? Like
All
she
of them.
She just ran with the ball.
Yeah, they're
Um,
like, all right, 3 travels.
Yeah.
It was great. I was like, you know what? The WNBA is not going on right now. I miss this.
Should we
It
get
was
to
nice.
Salt Lake City?
Let's do it.
Yes.
I just want to say I love you, Mary. You know?
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the discourse, people questioning her intentions and yada yada yada. It's just like, one, it's really not your place. But you cannot deny Mary's love for her child. And I think, being a new parent, like, we do our best to give River the best life. And I think it's incredibly vulnerable and brave of Mary to acknowledge that, like, there was a lot going on that she didn't know, and she felt responsible for that. And she's not some absentee parent, she's not some like disconnected parent who's just like decides to like all of a sudden give a shit, about her son because she's has a bunch of other things going on. She clearly is involved in her child's life. And despite that, still this happened. And the scariness around that happening is a very difficult situation. And I think she is, I think more than anything, what she brought awareness to is the willingness to like sit down with your child, even if you feel that embarrassment, even if you feel like it's difficult, and like, connect in ways that you realize maybe you weren't connecting with your kid to save your kid's life. Because I think a lot of times if parents fuck up with their kids, they don't know how to handle it. So they don't do anything other than like clam up and like hope that things work themselves out. And Mary didn't do that. And I think it's a very brave thing for her to do. And I think we should send her all our love, because that was just a touching moment in that episode.
Yeah, I think Whitney sharing her feedback as well, and Andy adding the context of they have never really been friends before the season, and her just being like, you sharing your experience has let my kids understand my father.
Yeah.
Like it's actually helping people.
So I did shed a tear when Whitney, like, because you could tell during the entire conversation when Whitney was silent, she was like really, really trying hard to keep it together. And when she just broke, that was like, it was like really, really genuine.
I really don't want to be over Meredith and Angie fighting.
I
over
mean,
this
I think
topic.
even Andy was like, what are we even doing here? This is so fucking pointless.
He called it a huge waste of time, and Meredith was like,
Yeah.
It was,
She took it personal.
yeah, she was like, excuse me, to you, but it's like, it's tired.
I love her.
But
though.
it is a huge waste of time at this point. It's like, and Meredith wants to beat it down. She wants them to like play all the clips and give all the proof and like it's just like, clearly Monica was like telling Angie one thing, telling someone something else, telling Angie a different thing, it's like, it's just crazy.
Even with like Angie's husband in the podcast thing where she was just like, I have it on my phone. And they're like, well, we have it right here. And Andy's
it's
just
completely
like,
different than what's on your phone.
yes, this
so-
person is literally leading Angie's husband, Sean, to answer a question and putting words in his mouth. The answer is given to him.
Yeah.
So it's like, he didn't do anything wrong. He's just answering a question based off of how it was presented. But like, he's not trying to call you any type of name or, say that you're doing whatever with your son. Like, that wasn't the point.
Yeah, when Meredith feels wronged, there is no limit to what she is willing to do to like make sure that people agree with her.
Right. Storm out of the reunion.
Yeah.
I did not come for this.
Yeah.
But her ability to navigate people coming for her
It's incredible.
and her willingness to like discount everyone else's feelings because it's not valid to her, it's real something. It's really something.
I am very much Team Angie, but I will say if I was in Meredith's position where someone was telling me we're going to play it, I would also be like,
Play the clip.
play.
Play
You're
the clip.
telling me if you're not going to play it, I'm
Yeah.
going to leave.
I loved how Meredith handled that because
Yeah.
that's the only way
'Cause
to
she was
protect
right.
yourself in that
Yeah.
environment is to like know your worth. The Meredith's like, fire me or don't fire me. I'm not fucking saying one more thing unless I get this, this, and that. And she got some version of her way.
I was like, the only thing that didn't land with her was when she was trying to call out the list of names that she's been called on the show. And they were like, Meredith, you've said some pretty.
And those are the ones I can remember.
And then just play the clip of her being like, "You're vile." I love her.
like reading people to fill.
Meredith Mark's brain amazes me.
Anytime we make lists of anything, I want it to end with, and those are what we can remember.
Yeah. And those are what I can remember.
The funniest thing is her list was like, a lot of those weren't actually things she was called. It was things that she took from someone saying something.
Yes.
Yes.
It's like she took someone saying, "Oh, I heard you puking as you call me bulimic." So it's like, okay, well,
Yeah.
No one actually called you that.
Yeah.
Also, when
She
Andy was like,
insinuated.
so and so wants to know if you, Seth, have a side chick in Ohio, and the whole time Meredith is like, wait, what was the question? Like she's like nodding, like yeah. Wait, what?
His answer to that too, where he was like, what did he say? As long as marriage is above average, over 51% of the time, highly recommends commuting because he feels like you're going on your first date every weekend, and his hand is his side chick. I was like, there's a lot of answers that were going on here where I'm just like, why don't you just say no? I don't
Yeah,
have a side
'Cause-
chick, and I
'cause
love my
Seth
wife
is
very
gonna-
much.
Seth is gonna goof. If there's one thing about Seth Marks, he's gonna goof.
Which honestly is exhausting.
Yeah, it doesn't land.
It's
like
not funny.
as long as
so.
our marriage is at 51%.
Who's your favorite husband?
Todd?
Same.
Yeah,
Todd's no bullshit.
I like a no bullshit man. What can I,
like
say?
Justin.
I love Justin.
I like
Justin's
Justin.
Whitney's?
Yeah.
I like Justin.
I like Sean.
Is that who's Sean?
Angie.
Angie's.
Oh, Sean's good too.
I like Sean. Well, I like Sean.
I don't know enough about him.
I like the way he has handled himself throughout this whole situation with being called gay. Like
Mhm.
he's never like, how dare you say that to me? He's always like, you
You
can
know,
say
yeah.
that to me. I just don't want it to seem like I would do that to Angie or
Yeah.
Electra.
Exactly. yeah.
And
Yeah.
you could tell he really, really loves her and he really loves his family.
Also,
so
it is
I
weird
like
when
him.
like kids, like all these women talk about these rumors and they spread the rumors, but like, yeah, it's like it's pretty fucked up when you're spreading rumors that eventually make their way back to like your kid's school
Yeah.
and shit like that. And it's some of them only seem to care about it when it's a rumor coming at them.
Mhm.
Also, hot take, least favorite husband, John. Sorry.
Me too. I don't like
Lisa's
John
husband?
Barlow.
Yeah, when he was like telling
There's
Todd
nothing hot
to
about that.
watch
take.
his tone, and I was like,
He's just as petty as his wife.
thank you.
Also, John never talks until Lisa takes his muzzle
He's
off.
a really supportive husband,
Damn.
though.
I'll give you that. He definitely
I love
is.
John.
He is supporting his wife.
He is a he is a diehard Lisa. Like
and thank you for-
absolutely.
and you're right. That deserves credit.
The only time I've ever enjoyed him was when he was parallel parking.
Same.
And that was really funny. He also looks like if John Waters was straight, which is funny.
I did
to
not
me.
appreciate his response to Whitney apologizing to him. He was like, "Okay, sure, I guess." It's like
Yeah.
she just like, what do you? She just like
Oh, I checked-
apologized to you. She was like, "I didn't get a chance to like apologize
That's because
to you
after the
yet."
commercial break, Lisa turned around and said, "Good boy."
Also, Lisa Meredith and Heather
But
on
I
the
agree with
couch
you.
together drove me crazy. Like anytime one person said
Mhm.
anything about one of them, all three of them started yapping at the same time, yelling at one person. And I was just like, shut your mouths. Each one of you can answer your own question. Like you don't all need to be like, don't talk about each
That's
other like
what
that.
I remember about last reunion with Monica was that it was so chaotic and not one person could speak that it was so hard to watch.
Yeah, Sarah, am I wrong? Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember like the split screens and reunions becoming a thing when like Salt Lake City became bigger. Like they always had the little boxes of faces, but like split screens
Yeah.
Because
came
of
about
everyone
because they
just
were always
yelling.
interrupting each
Yep.
other. So yeah,
I also really loved this episode when Todd was speaking to Heather and he was just like complimenting her.
Yeah.
And it really like made me realize like both what I love about Heather and why I'm always frustrated with Heather.
Mhm.
My favorite Salt Lake City season will be the season, if it ever happens, where Heather is top fucking dog. Where she sits on her throne of like, she stabs Lisa Barlow in the back. She stabs Meredith in the back. She's just like, I'm Jen Shaw, fuck you. She takes no prisoners and she figures out a way to like be the queen of Salt Lake City. And she starts like I think she was born to be like a leader. I think she was born to be a star, but she doesn't believe it in herself. She doesn't think she can be the leader of a group. And that's why she's always following the likes of a Jen Shaw and a Lisa Barlow. And I think if Heather just believed in herself, she would be a million times less insufferable when she's ever insufferable. And she's only insufferable when she's just like taking fucking orders from
Mhm.
people who are less than her.
period.
Period.
I think you
Okay.
read right
Boots.
into her.
Well, what
Boots.
did you think of like the getting into the whole like emotional cheating of Todd and Heather being like, well, that's not what you said on the boat, and like her trying to like poke holes in the story.
The flashback supported what she said.
I supported which one?
Bronwyn.
Bronwyn.
Yeah.
Yeah, like she never said anything about like
It was just kind of
But Heather
giving
was
like
implying.
Bronwyn trying to have a storyline and then thought she could like use this storyline. And then the other women were like, oh shit, emotionally cheating. And then they fucking ran with this like rumor. And then Bronwyn was like, whoa, 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 whoa.
I did think it was weird that Todd hadn't seen it. I'm just kind of like, because they did say that they're
Yeah.
watching the episodes together and looking back at their relationship to kind of see what's working, what's not working. But I'm like, I think it's weird that y'all skipped over that episode specifically. And that's coming from a Bronwyn diehard.
Mhm.
But I was like,
And when Andy was like, so Gwen is the one who caught you, and he kind of looked like stunned, and Bronwyn was like, yes. Like it kind of was like, he's like, I don't remember
and then
I think
that.
he
turned back
didn't.
and said, you're okay. Like, you're okay. And it was like
He started to
comforting
get
him.
emotional,
But like
yeah.
the whole thing played out very strange.
I feel like Bronwyn, like, yeah, I think she was like trying to like open up. Like, that's the problem with, like, these women are asked and expected to confess, like,
Right.
to share secrets, because it's like if they don't share it, someone else is going to dig tea up on them. And I think Braun was kind of trying to control the narrative of this like tea and give her a little bit of like character arc. And I think these women weren't here to play.
And we got the meanings behind the 5 diamond ring promises that he gave her after the
Did we buy that?
alleged affair. Well, he threw in what they meant. So, and one of them was fidelity. It's support, love, fidelity, transparency, and taking care of Gwen was the 5 promises that he made to her after said event happened that he didn't say at their wedding.
When you say fidelity, it's like, I know what you mean, but like infidelity is the word we always use. And it's like not that different than fidelity. I feel like we need a different word for like faithful.
Loyalty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, did you say fidelity? Like, huh?
And I promise to be unfaithful for. No.
I feel like it was clear though, like after their conversation, what actually happened. It was that it was a coworker that became more of like an emotional like affair, if we use that word, but nothing actually happened.
It made her feel uncomfortable, whatever was said in the text, but it doesn't mean that he was like, oh, baby, I'll see you tonight. Like, it's not as, I don't think it's as insidious.
I mean, obviously, I'm glad it came from Bronwyn and not one of the other women, like trying to bring stuff up. I mean, clearly this was, I don't know how many years ago, didn't they say? But like, clearly they're good. Like, I don't think this is something that they're still working through, but it's like, there is part of me that's like, what was the point in Bronwyn bringing this up? It's like for what, like Gwen to watch it back and like kind of relive that, or for them to have to rewatch it and relive it, or for just like the world to know that like they are just like any other couple and they have struggled and they've had their ups and their downs. Like, I wonder what her motive was for sharing this with all these women.
I'm still kind of standing by my theory that I'm like, and Bronwyn did say it in the last reunion, but it's like this fight, this need to be like best friends with Lisa and have Lisa see you and understand you. Like, it felt like, because the only person she was really upset about not giving the proper reaction was Lisa. So it kind of feels like maybe even then, like, this was kind of like a Hail Mary in the sense of like, how can I get on your level? I want you to see me as a human. I'm not just married to this rich older man and have no depths or have no problems. So I think she was trying to like peel back the layers and hope that like her closest friend was gonna jump on board with her, and instead it was Heather, Whitney, and Angie.
I think it probably would have gone more positive if that would have been a one-on-one conversation with the two of them, like
100
with Bronwyn and Lisa.
I was like 100%. And even then, it was like Lisa was like, Todd's gonna be so mad about this. So it's like, even then, she was like, you got upset because I didn't side with you because I was defending your husband. But at the same time, why are you bringing it up if we're not going to like dive into it? You know what I mean? Or the fact that Todd didn't watch it back. It still bothers me a little bit. Because I'm like, he should know what was said.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was listening to something about, there were people talking about Sundance. Lisa Barlow, obviously queen of Sundance. And apparently somebody self-proclaimed queen of Sundance, and she was at Sundance recently, and someone had gone up to her and been like, oh my god, I'm such a huge fan of Salt Lake City, it's like the best show, whatever. And she goes, what do you think of Bronwyn?
Living out her mind rent free.
And that was like her first question. So Bronwyn is definitely on Lisa's mind.
Well, and Mary did say that Bronwyn is a fan favorite because she's so open and vulnerable.
Yeah.
And unafraid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't need her money or praise or adoration
Yep.
or approval.
I mean, she reads just very secure in every aspect of her life, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Heather, if you're listening, you're capable of so much more.
Sometimes I think that maybe Heather, do you think something with the whole black eye thing affects the way that Heather positions herself within the group and like within Bravo?
I don't know. I feel like Angie giving us a little tea on what it was like to go to high school with Heather was the most informative thing.
Yeah.
Just talking about, again, according to Angie, Heather's like desire to always be around the cool kids, the popular kids. And she always was someone who kind of acted not like also a popular kid, but someone who very much wanted to be one. And that made a lot of sense given how like Heather moves around like the Jen Shaws and the Lisa Barlows of the world, where she's always like second in command. She's always kind of doing their bidding. She's like never. And again, I think Heather's one of the smartest people in the group. Like, she's funny. I love Heather. I just get so frustrated with her when she just does the shit she does. We finally watched RHONY reunion. Like, I don't even feel comfortable commenting on It's So Toxic.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I think
I don't know if this episode was necessary. I mean, maybe the second one will be less toxic. I think the only thing that really stood out to me for this was the like proof of Brynn twisting Jessel's words about the love of her life.
That was actually heartbreaking to
That was
watch.
really
Yeah.
hard to watch, of Jessel being like, I'm watching this with my husband and I'm having to be like, that's not what I said. Like,
And second guessing herself, being like, calling somebody, being like, did I say that?
yeah. And like Brynn just not really having any remorse and her kind of trying to make the excuses for it.
And Jenna kind of having to like spoon feed to her why it was wrong, while also kind of not condemning her, but being like, Brynn, that was really fucked up what you did.
Yeah.
And the fact that you knew that, brought that to national television. What are you thinking? And she's like, I guess I'm sorry. Like, it's not, it's because and like always making an excuse for something. So it's kind of hard with like, obviously the context of what's going on with Brynn too, because you want to have empathy for her situation. But I do think it's some sort of coping mechanism or something from her past trauma to where it's like the truth is whatever she believes it is. And it doesn't really matter what the original story was.
Which I get from a like trauma background. It's just when it involves another person's like private life, it's like I get like the missing, like confusing the truth with lies in her own life to like cope and keep herself like afloat during trauma, but then to like bring in other people and twist their words and make what they say. That is just where it gets hard to.
It's kind of like Erin's words in like the finale, I believe, where she was just like, yes, like you need to deal with your trauma and your trauma is correct, but it also doesn't give you the right to create trauma for other people.
Right. Totally.
I just love the, what do you actually do? And she said, it's like nothing, crickets.
I do
No,
your
she
job.
said, I
Do
do
what you-
your job.
I do
and
your
everyone's
That's not
like,
an answer though.
Which is not true because she does do PR for Big Oil. So
But why didn't she say that?
I don't know. Like the way every time I
Could've
say
said
something,
PR.
And Sai is an influencer.
I know,
But
it's
I
like,
think PR in like this, I mean, clearly we saw it with Lindsay Hubbard. It's like definitely not something you want to bring attention to.
She's been vocal about it on her Insta. The way I found out from an Instagram post from Brynn in the first season, because there were a lot of things of being like, what does Brynn actually do? She posted what she did, one of which of the things that she claimed to do in this Instagram post, and if you look it up, it's corroborated, is that she worked in the PR campaign during the BP oil spill.
I do want to say I really appreciate Andy and Bravo giving Brynn the floor and then separating that from like the convolution of like women like
Totally.
feedback or whatever. Like she had the ability to say whatever
And did she
wanted
say
to.
it was
Yeah.
someone in their crew?
No, she said it was
No.
somebody that she sees frequently who courted her for a while and that she still sees till this day. Like it's somebody like in her personal life
Yeah.
that she
She
knows.
has to deal with.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So
Still
that's why
do.
she
Yes.
never
Okay.
wanted to like
Why she didn't
name
press
anything,
charges.
Yeah.
No, it's heartbreaking. It really is. And it definitely explains a lot of her behavior. I think like when you're actively dealing with that and going through that and living through that, it's like it affects your behavior with other
Mhm.
people. And like I can see how, she's acted the way that she has. But I think, yeah, Erin said it perfectly of like
You can have your trauma, but
don't make it for other people. Yeah.
100%.
No, this is going to be triggering for you, Mary. I don't, honestly, Jenna Lyons. I don't get it.
Wow.
Not her in
Okay.
her Balenciaga luxury bathrobe. She was gonna return.
She
Okay.
seemed lovely,
I love her.
but what? Like, what makes her so like?
She's fab.
eh.
Yes.
Like, why do people fawn on her over her? I don't get it. Like, even Rihanna said she was her favorite housewife.
What's-
I mean, I get it. She's highly successful, but like,
I don't know. She's just kind of that.
She
bitch.
has the certain je ne sais
Yeah,
je ne sais quoi.
maybe in person, but like not through the TV. I don't know.
What is the saying where it's like it's not for you to get?
Fine, and I get
She's
that.
she's for the
fuck me,
Period.
for the
truly,
girls
fuck.
for the girls and the gays.
I will absolutely go fuck myself.
Yeah, it
but
is for
I'm-
the girls in the
I'm
game.
She's for
generally-
the girls and the gays, and she was even in an episode of Girls.
Yeah,
Mhm.
playing Hannah's boss.
and that-
Hannah's
what-
boss.
But yeah, it's definitely not for me. But
Yeah.
like, what is she doing for you?
showed up to-
Everything and nothing all at the same time.
She showed up to reunion in a bathrobe. That's luxury. That
When
was enough
I-
for me to be like,
And
I
when
can do that.
I thought it was beautiful because
I'd rather
Jenna
you-
Lyons gives me hope that not that I will ever like be anything like or look anything like Jenna Lyons, but there's something about Jenna where I'm like, wow,
I think if you know her background, you'll think she like
that's for me.
is iconic.
What's her
yeah, and I
background?
was wearing a bathrobe and a little. And a
She
little hair
made J.
thing.
Crew what we like modernly know J. Crew as, dressed the presidents, like the Obama administration. She like
and to
came
be clear, I'm not critiquing her professional.
You don't get her as a
accomplishments, of which,
housewife.
yes, I just like as a housewife, I don't get it.
To be fair, I was like, all of the girls did say that they were annoyed by the fact that she gets to pick and choose what she shares on the show. And I think if we did get to see a little behind the curtain, it would be a lot more.
And then when she does something
I
that's
do
like
agree with
kind of
that.
like giving slightly of problematic, it's kind of giving. She's like, "Oops, I was a little embarrassed," but like, whatevs. It's like,
See,
huh?
but I
Like,
love that. You know, I kind of love like an ice cold queen.
it's not
Meredith,
ice
Jenna.
cold. It's more. I'd rather be like, yeah, I don't give a fuck,
Yeah.
rather than pretend the. Anyways,
I understand.
I know I'm
can
in the
see
minority
I
here.
can see and understand your criticism for her as like a television personality. I just am biased because I love her.
and
So she
and
could say
I'm in the-
nothing and I would be entertained.
I'm clearly in the minority. It's just I'm constantly being told that she is next to God, and I'm just like, I don't get it.
What if I told you this? Jenna Lyons had her own reality TV show solo about her before RHONY.
I mean, good for her. I just was it
Like
watched?
I think her personality carries within itself outside of a reality TV.
Was it super
character.
successful?
No, but you know,
I think she should
it
host
existed.
Project Runway.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that does it for this episode. We will be bringing back Bev Hills on Thursday. I mean, like, I don't know. We didn't cover it last week because of Heidi and Spencer, but like, you know, Dorit and Kyle still figuring it out. Once again, tomorrow, Carl Radke for an amazing Going Deeper episode. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Hey guys, if you loved what you listened to, make sure you hit that subscribe button below. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.